One, two, 1, 2. I can hear myself, but can I hear you?
I can hear you. You can hear me because
Okay.
I unmuted it.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What up? What up? Appreciate you bringing me back to
Right.
Real Online
Peace, peace,
Network.
peace.
DC. You
Indeed.
showing yourself when you mind.
Indeed. I'm always bring you back. Right now, I'm not sure myself. As I get into it, I may show myself, but at the moment, I'm not. Because I think what I'm
Okay.
saying is more important than me showing myself.
I'll just make sure I don't have to show
So
myself. I'm
the
good.
subject, yeah, nah, you can just show them big teeth right there. So the subject is we are chiefs, not kings. And this is a subject that is going around the internet in different forms, right? Because after all this indoctrination and everyone having different viewpoints on the indoctrinated perspective, we're coming into a strong truth that happened after this paradigm shift that the so-called African American, Black American is actually the indigenous Indian of this land. So I want to put that out there first. We may get shadow banned for telling the truth, even though we shouldn't. We're not going to use no vulgar language to have this debate and this discussion. Anybody that's on TikTok that I can't see, please leave a comment and ask your questions. Anybody that you think I should talk to that wants to debate what I'm talking about, tell them to tap in and we can go there. We're in the age of information and sharing. So the truth can be revealed communication without people's emotions getting involved. We can look at the logistics of things. The reason why I'm representing the fact that we are chiefs, not kings, is because this whole system that was built upon the actual land that was inhabited and still inhabited to this day by my ancestors. At any time you want to chime in, Ricky, and say anything, don't think you're cutting me off. You know, we can go back and forth. But the main topic of this conversation that it's not just me talking about this. It's just me giving a certain perspective that we're running around here calling ourselves all kind of things, and it's fine. Like, if you greet someone with the ninja word, that's fine. If you greet someone with the word of peace, God, that's fine. I'm not telling people what to call each other inside of a demographic or belief system or whatever. What I'm saying is the original term that fits us the best would be Indian, indigenous. If you look at the word indigenous, you'll see the first 5 letters will give you Indian.
Yeah.
You can see that IND and keep going. When they added that IAN at the end, that's something that we can get into as far as linguistics. But we are Indians, indigenous to this land, which makes us in the category of chief and chiefess. Am I on this live stream by myself or do I have a debate or a co-host or something? Are you there?
I'm there. I'm just waiting until I have something to debate. All of it is correct so far, so that's why I'm still listening.
Okay, just checking in. So they wanted to tell us and our children that we all came over here on a boat from Africa.
Okay.
Though we've had people come over on boats from Africa, and though they did have slave trading going on during those times, when they got here, from every description that you can find, it's going to say copper tone, or it's going to point to some form of what we are. And go into this future of making it seem like we don't have Indian genes inside of our DNA.
Well, why do you think they do
We
that?
can't allow any. Why do they do what?
Make it seem like we don't have that in us, and that is other situations outside of what you just said. Like, what's the reason? I know you was gonna go into the solution. You told me not to be afraid to cut you off. I was just curious as to what was the
Yeah, not at all.
reason.
Was the reason that they do it or why it was
Why,
done?
yeah, why it was done and continuing to be done.
It was done. It was done out of um, a way to be able to keep people. Okay, basically, it was done to empower themselves when they were already empowered,
Oh,
meaning
okay.
that our nature as Indians, we come from sharing. Our core nature and our heart is love. We're not about war and all that. We're about defending. We're not
Right.
about offending. So, but everyone doesn't understand that concept. So when you don't understand that concept, because that requires a high degree of understanding who you are as an individual, you get lost into confusions and division. So instead of accepting who you really are, you'll divide yourself a bunch of times. And that's the reason why I done it, because people were not knowing who they were, and they didn't want to accept who they were at the time that they were doing it. They're still trying to find out who they were. And in the process of that, you become defensive. What starts as defense ends up leading to offense because you feel like you have to protect something that you really don't have to protect because it's who you are anyway.
So you saying,
So there, go ahead.
go ahead.
We can take our time. Go ahead. No, we can take our time. We got time.
No, I
What
was
were you
just
about to say?
so I was saying I was about to jump the subject. That's why I said let me just let you finish because I was gonna say. So I was just saying why did they entitle it Africa specifically? That where they're making everybody think that they were from that everybody's from there. Basically.
Well, the word, yeah, the word Africa, if you go to what they call Africa today, you'll meet tribes from over there that will tell you they don't call themselves African.
Okay.
So the word African did not come into play until much later after the discovery of certain areas over there as well as areas over here. So the word African is not an original indigenous term. Even that landmass over there, if you talk to an African today, you say, hey, did y'all people always call yourself Africans? They're going to say, no, we didn't. We still only call ourselves that to this day. We call ourselves by whatever our tribal name is. You know what I'm saying? In that particular area.
So they basically
So
gave
that was a
everybody the,
terminology that came into place.
so the labels came into place just to keep
Say
everybody.
again?
So the labeling of names came in to keep
You got
everybody
to talk
out.
directly to the mic.
Huh?
You have to talk directly in the mic. I can't hear you all the way.
I don't have a mic. It's just on my computer.
Sound like you. Whatever you just did, I could.
I leaned
Yeah, the
up,
mic
so
on your
I guess you know
computer.
what I'm saying.
I can hear
Okay.
you.
I said so the labeling just came so they can be putting people in columns and separate them. So that's what the labels came from. Like they said they wasn't called African and stuff, but they say no, we're gonna call them African Americans. So the reason why they wanted to call us stuff outside of who we are was because they wanted to conquer is what you're saying, what you said earlier.
I didn't say conquer. I said, but you can use the word. I didn't say conquer. I said they didn't want to. They were on the defense, which switched to offense because of lack of knowing and willing to accept who they were.
Okay, yeah. All right.
So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, what I'm trying to say is that it's easy for to divide something to make it seem like you have the whole picture. If you divide it and each section is broken up, then it appears like there's not a whole picture there. But all you have to do to get the whole picture is put all the pieces together that was divided. Then you'll get the truth. So a lie can only be told if it's split from the truth. So you have to separate the lie from the truth in order for it to exist. If you put it back with the truth, then the lie no longer exists. That same example ties into the labels that we get called. There's no different from a football player that is in one on one team than the other team, other than the fact that they give each team a name, but they're all playing the same game, the game of football. So just because you're on the Kansas City Chiefs, this person is on the Miami Dolphins, doesn't mean they're not both football players. It just means I can put that team against that team to make it interesting and also draw from whoever I decide or whoever they decide wins or loses,
Capital,
which creates an illusion of wealth.
the capitalism. Yeah, I got it.
You said what?
Capitalism.
Well, I wouldn't call it capitalism.
Sound
I
like.
would call it illusionism. Capitalism is something different. I would call it illusionism. Capitalism is a whole nother conversation which doesn't fit into game. It's more into trading. When you're talking about capitalistic society, you're talking about the trading society and who holds all the resources to trade, which in turn, this is capitalism. I killed all the bears, I got all the fur. You are cold. You want to be warm. This bear fur would warm you, but I own them all.
Yeah,
I'm
but where I'm from,
capitalizing
we
on the
call
fact
it
that I killed all the bears.
Yeah, we from where I'm from, we use it on all terms. The person that's trying to capitalize off another individual in any kind of way, we call it capitalism, capitalizing. So I get what you're saying, but I'm just coming from all across board when a person you're somewhere already on land and someone else shows up and you're sharing, but yet they still choose to try to capitalize off of what you're sharing. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be a piece of bread or whatever the fuck it is. I was just saying that it's capitalism.
No, but see, you fought. Well, I understand what you're saying, but this is what's going to make a great debate. Because what you're saying is part of the problem. Because you're not on a piece of land that you're sharing. Because if that's the case, how much sun? How much is the sun sharing? The land doesn't have to be shared by the occupants. The land is the land. Period. So everyone can be on the land. No one's sharing the land because that's not what the land is meant for. The land is just what it is. It's no different than the sun. It's to be respected. Indians respect nature. So we respect the sun. We respect the land. We're not sharing the land. We're just saying respect the land. So
So
I get
even
what you're saying too, because you're looking at it. Go ahead.
I'm saying even with the whole
Go ahead.
you gotta have a visa and immigrant and all that in order. That's that's what I meant. It seeming like you sharing it because you got all those laws and stuff in place. As if you gotta share it with somebody or they can't be here or they're an immigrant or
If
so.
I gotta use, I gotta use a quote. If I take a cup of water, I mean, if I take a cup and I run it through the ocean and I pick up some of the water out of the ocean, did the ocean just share a cup with me, or did I just pick up some of what the ocean is? My point is that the ocean does not ever stop sharing. So I get what you're saying when you're saying sharing. Well, all I'm just adding to what you're saying is saying that you can call it sharing, but we're not the ones in charge of
Right,
sharing it.
right. I
The
get that.
universe and the earth
You're
itself is
saying
in
that's
charge
what
of
the
the sharing.
problem is because they're operating like I'm breaking down.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that's how they
they're
operate. But
operating
you're
as
saying
if
that
they
Indians
control.
don't operate like that because they understand that the land is land. But yet, society and how it is, they operate like you have to share it. And then it becomes all the other domino effects. So I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right. So what they did was they'll come in. Um, we can get into history. Anybody that wants to get into the history can join me on another panel that has like a much larger platform than this one that we're starting out, and they can understand a lot of the history facts. I speak from the heart perspective in my conversation when it comes to we are chiefs, not kings. And when I'm saying this from the perspective of um, I don't want our children to grow up in another paradigm of lies. I want our children to know that they are born to be chiefs, and there's an order to how they inherit that in order to preserve, protect, respect, and never neglect the family, aka tribe, and the land that the tribe has given to them based on the universal laws of nature. See, when you think that you're a king, you may put everything in a vault. You may stash stuff. You may even try to bury yourself with things that only get recovered later. So think about the pharaohs that put all that gold, put all the things that they could thought they could take with them underneath the into the underworld or whatever, and mummified themselves because they were thinking, I don't want to share this particular necklace with nobody.
Yeah.
I want this to be found later. What if you didn't bury that? And what if we knew that information before you had to bury it and wrap it all up and then confuse us and we had to figure it all out? It wouldn't have took this paradigm shift for everybody to figure it out. We would have never had to go through it. But then they'll try to blame it on saying that we had to go through this because it's part of the astronomical astrology for it to take place. That's not real because the astronomy doesn't say that. I've studied astronomy as well. Astronomy doesn't say bury yourself, hide all the secrets till later. That's not what that astronomy says.
What do you say?
So you said, what does it say?
Yeah.
It says that every person on this planet is entitled to all the luxury and gifts of this planet. See, you don't just have white supremacists, you have black supremacists, you have Asian supremacists, you have Mexican supremacists, you have all kind of different forms of supremacy because they're thinking that the resource is their power. And during a certain time frame, that may have been it. But in this time frame that in the future, in this current time frame and what they would consider the future, it's not going to be based upon who has the most material. It's going to be based upon who is the most truthful. Truth being based upon the element of a plus sign, aka positive, aka multiplication. So it's not about dividing no more. It's not about subtracting no more. It's not about distraction is the same as subtraction. So if you have to study something over and over and over, because I'm seeing some people are studying history because they like history. They dang near romanticize with it. And it's almost like Christianity or religion, Buddhism, Confucius or whatever. They're studying the same thing for centuries where they never get past that same thing because they're not focusing on the main thing, which is positive, not being divided or subtracted from, but multiplied. When you focus on that, if you take a pencil and you draw a plus sign, you can either start from the top to the bottom and then go from left to right, right to left, bottom to top. However, you get to the plus sign, you can also turn that plus sign. If you take that, if you draw a plus sign and turn the paper sideways, you have an X, which is a multiplication sign, and that means it's adding and multiplying. But if you only have one line that's being drawn on a piece of paper, then that means it's subtracting. If you put a point of reference on one side of that subtraction sign and another point of a reference on the bottom side of that subtraction sign, meaning no line connecting those points, then you get division. So you're going to subtract or you're going to divide. That was the old paradigm. And this new paradigm, it's about adding and multiplying. You can't do that based on anger, religion, politics, lies, manipulation for false wealth that you cannot transform into another realm. Mickey Mouse shit. I'm sorry, we on TikTok. You have to deal with nothing but pure positive energy. Does that mean you can't have negative things taking place? Yes. The negative, remember the symbol for negative is a minus. Stand in front of the negativity and you have a positive. You need the negative to ground the positive at one time because too much positive energy, actually, people are just afraid of it. Nothing happens. The reason why we moved to 5G technology is because we started dealing with more positive energy than negative energy. They thought that we had to be grounded. So they said, keep the negative, like in a battery, you have the positive and the negative. So it's to keep that negative on there so it grounds the electrical charge. Well, why the hell would you want to stop electricity and electrical charge unless you're afraid? So then you can only get to a certain megahertz. So they increased the megahertz recently. They got everybody moving faster. Some people can't handle it because they were able to manipulate when the frequency was going slower. Now that the frequency is going faster, you can't manipulate because people can see that you're lying faster. People can know the truth faster. It resonates with them faster. So if you're a preacher and you're kicking a lot of things that's supposed to be positive, but it's based on a negative rhythm, it doesn't work no more. The spell is up, the jig is up, your hustle is over.
Hmm.
That's why we are chiefs, not kings.
Okay. I don't really have no back to debate, honestly, because you are stating things versus the conversation we were having earlier.
Oh, it's the same conversation.
No, it's not.
Y'all, for everybody that's
It
listening,
always
Me
goes
and
up.
her was having a conversation.
You did. Like you
Ah,
switched it all the way up. And I'm like, okay, that's how he gonna spin it. Okay, that's cool. That's for social media.
you see how she doing that. So what happened, y'all? Let me tell the people that wasn't there.
Don't
We was having a
bring up your own
conversation.
theory of
Look,
stories
she'll
because you
want me
know
to do it.
that's what you're gonna do. So all I'm saying is I don't have no debate because you and I
We were having a conversation, y'all, and in the conversation, she was giving me all kinds of James Brown static. And I said, well, let's go live there. And I want you to keep that same energy so we can teach people or people can have their opinion. Because if somebody disagrees, that's what you do. You come online and you talk about it, right? So I said, don't change that energy. But she's saying to y'all that I'm changing my energy, that I was saying one thing offline, now I'm saying different online. I said the same thing. I said, we are chiefs, not kings. She agrees with that part, but I think the part that you were debating me on was the land. Because we started talking about, well, why do we pay taxes on the land? I think that's what was the debate, right? Hello?
I ain't saying nothing.
Hello?
That's not true.
We got into what was the point of paying taxes if you own the land? So
No, I said that how can you
just touch on that because she's scared, y'all.
I said my statement was I don't get how anybody could even be taxed if it was their land in the first place. But you started off saying that it's a sharing
Right.
thing.
That was a good
So
debate. That's why I
I ain't
decided
no
to go
debate
live.
when you hit me with the whole sharing thing, but you wasn't using the word sharing in that initial conversation. But you brought the sharing in when we came
Oh, so
live.
you're saying that's what gave you the clarity is the sharing part.
Evidently, because I don't have no debate now that you said and sharing
because
that. You wasn't stating that.
I did say sharing, Ern. You probably didn't hear me. But what I was saying was that most people, I was talking about the passing down of land and how it happens. I was saying that generally grandma will have a child, an Indian child, that if that child is a male, will become the chief of the land, similar to the Italians having a Don, similar to God bless the dead, because I'm not like some of you other niggas. I don't hate on people's families. I don't have no grudges towards people's families. I'm not a black supremacist or a white supremacist or an Indian supremacist or any of that shit.
Mm.
So rest in peace to everybody that's ever transformed. Know that energy never dies, it only transforms. And no one's perfect. And if you hold a grudge on someone that was in the physical realm and then transfers into another realm, it doesn't change your grudge, meaning you're still stuck in that person basically has power over you still. So if you have any hate in your heart, that hate is what's controlling everything you do. So that means that you're not a chief, no matter how much you pretend, no matter how
Yep.
much you preach and try to do whatever you do. If you got hatred, you're just not a chief because the ultimate level of a chief is positive energy. It doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge truth. It means that you don't allow the illusions to be true. Because I want to put this out there for anybody that comes across this in the future, to my children, to your children, to any children that come across this, know that positive energy activates constant elevation. You'll find that in what they'll call the supreme mathematics, the lessons of the gods. That comes out of Fard Muhammad. That doesn't mean I worship Fard Muhammad or anything like that. It's a study, almost like you can get studies out of Christianity or all kind of religions or history books and yada me. So in short form, what I'm trying to say is nobody's above nobody. There's just respect. If I come over your house, I have to respect your house. If you were in a certain area before I was, who am I to come and tell you it's not your area no more? That goes against the laws of nature, human nature,
Someone
and
said
natural nature.
really real said on TikTok, I feel like he doesn't know nothing.
Well, tell him to ask me something
Real,
and see if I know it.
he said, well, if you feel like he don't know nothing, ask him something and see if he know it.
Tell him I know that we Indians also.
She said she know that we Indian. Also, he said, and she was saying she was an Indian from San Diego the other night, and that she gets her Indian money and stuff because her mom and dad are Indian.
Okay, well then she should. If I know I'm a chief, then that means I know something.
She said because how can we pay
She didn't hear
something?
me, right?
She said because how can we pay something that's already ours? That's what he was saying.
How can? What was the question? How can we
How
what?
can we pay something that is already ours? And we don't pay for our stuff.
Well, she must have
Say,
not
I'm a
heard
real
me.
Indian and we don't pay for our stuff. Yeah, that's what he was saying. He said real Indians, you don't pay for your own stuff, right?
Yeah, I didn't say we pay for anything. I said I said actually the opposite. I said that just because we're Indians and we share doesn't mean that we're paying anything. I don't believe in paying nobody for something we already own. So but what we own,
She said she heard
we
it
must
wrong.
do. Yeah, she heard me wrong. So what we own already, what I'm talking about, what's really real? What I'm talking about is telling the youngins that they don't have to go out and purchase. They need to take care of what they already have. They're thinking that they're
Yeah, he's saying
slaves and that they don't have
the young
nothing. And
they're slaves like they don't already have something. And he said when they don't have to go out there and work for something that's already theirs, but they got them thinking that it's not theirs by trying to say that they're not who they are, which makes sense. So that is,
tell her, tell her, tell her they got the youngins thinking they gotta go find a place to live instead of coming and taking care of the land.
yeah, she can hear you. I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah, they have the youngins thinking that they gotta go to a major city, buy a condo, instead of going to their family, finding out what needs to be done on the land. You don't have to go to a grocery store to buy a cucumber or to buy fruit or to buy anything. Sugar is right there in the land. Everything that you need comes out of the earth. So the youngest think that they have to become rappers or something, sign these crazy deals so they can have illusional things that they already have inherited to them. And that's why the title of this is "Your Chiefs, Not Kings," because a king, you heard Nas's album called King Disease. You know what I'm saying? In that album, he was trying to point out that a king can have a disease. A chief don't get diseases because he's one with nature. If you're a chief or a chiefess, you don't operate in disease because there's no disease that can be created on the land that created you.
Yeah, and really her twin said Donald Trump was trying to take our stuff, and us Indians doesn't like him because of that.
You got cut off. Say that again.
She said that Donald Trump tried to take our stuff, us Indians, and we don't like him because of that.
Yeah, but that's an illusion. Can't nobody take nothing that you have. The only way they can take it is by making you think you don't have it. So then you don't do what needs to be done with what you got. And see, if we focus on what they're doing instead of what we already have and what we could be doing, then the illusion is working. So if you think anybody, Trump or Biden or anybody, can take something from you, you're falling victim to not paying attention to what you have. And they want that. They want us to look at everything they're doing so then you don't go and bury a watermelon seed to grow a watermelon garden. So I can't go out there with my child and teach him farming or teach him how to build a house. Everything else is a distraction from that. Now they're trying to make it seem like technology is the answer when the answer is the land. It's never going to change. You can't have this technology without the materials that the land produced to make this technology. Inside of all these phones that we're on, and inside of all these different technologies, there's a small ingredient of gold and certain copper and certain wires that came out of the earth. So I feel you when you say what you're saying. I'm just not into politics because I'm an Indian. I don't give a fuck what they doing. I know we on TikTok. I'm sorry. I don't care what they're doing. I'm more focused on Indian business.
He's talking around real TikTok, and real TikTok, we trying to bed you for no reason.
They'll ban you for saying the wrong thing. But yeah, I appreciate really chopping in because that adds energy
It's
to it.
real
You
and
know what I'm
it's
saying?
real and really, because they twins. Really and real.
They girl,
Yeah, they
guys or girls?
girl, female. One is a lawyer and one is a hair braider, and she know how to do everything with hair and stuff.
Oh, that's the one that was supposed to do Tara. That's the one that was supposed to do Tara Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Tara today. She said when she come back, she gonna be trying to link up. She don't care if she got to drive to her.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, well, shout out to the twins, man. Hey, twins, don't be scared if y'all Indian. Don't be scared to share and tell people about the fact that we on that Indian thing. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I be on this platform. We just started this over here, so we ain't got our weight up at all. We ain't got, at least I don't, on Real Online Network on YouTube. I got my weight up in the business world, but I ain't got my weight up in the social
Social
media
media.
thing as far as me personally. As far as me, my personal brand, 'cause I've been helping everybody else. But I got my weight up on other channels with other people. So if you check out Top Cats, put in Top Cats or Big Cats on YouTube, and I'm on that panel, and we having these kind of conversations. So if you tribe, we looking for all tribe to check in with each other so we can get this thing in order because they trying to act like copper tone, what they call blacks are not Indians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She said that she said you saying what you saying is some real stuff. She just heard you wrong when she first came in.
No doubt. Yeah, we chiefs, not kings. If you move like a king, it's what Jay-Z said. A king can be beheaded. The king can be conquered. A chief can't because a chief normally creates another chief. The reason only, and don't think that a chief is more important than the woman because a chief's job solely is to protect the woman that creates the chief. So they got us thinking, don't talk to your dad. The reason why they say your dad is a deadbeat or he ain't this and he ain't that is because they don't want you to know who his family is. Because when you get into who your dad family is where your land is. You want to find your land, you find your dad. Your mother created you, but if you want, I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. If you want to find your land, you find who your dad is. Your dad came from a woman. So it doesn't make him more powerful than a woman. It makes him that woman's protector, whether he's there or not. Because sometimes a dad got to do stuff that he don't want to do just to protect. So sometimes you can look at the dad as a sacrificial situation if necessary. But my point is, tap into your dad's side of the family, the one that they tried to keep you away from. Everything they told us was backwards. So they say go left, go right. They say clockwise, go counterclockwise. So if they say don't
Yeah.
deal with your dad's people, that means you need to get in touch with your dad's people.
Yeah, I know I did. But Drake kept trying. And he was playing a part of it himself because of the programming.
Because they was indoctrinated. Yeah, they was indoctrinated to think that way.
Yeah. To
And
deny
a lot of the
deny their
dads do
children,
that
to deny
because
their own children and all, and the mother to even set them up to have to be in that position to dismantle the connection.
well, see, sometimes when a dad is denying their child, it's for protection. And that's the most heartbreaking thing that a father would have to do. But if you're a chief, sometimes you got to do shit you don't want to do.
Why would they have to
And
deny
that's the
self
thing that sucks
respect?
about being a chief.
Why would one reason be for them to
Because if you're being attacked and you know that people are coming in trying to dismantle and attack, you have to have a strategy to preserve. So if you say that's not my child, they don't know that this child is the person that holds the keys to certain things that can come unlock things after they think what they did worked. So let's just give you an example, right? Let's say you don't know your dad, he denied you. They're thinking that they own a piece of land because they did all kind of strategies to take him from his land. Here comes his daughter or his son, who is the heir to that land. He can unlock all them contracts, become non-void. They become void. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes you have to maneuver like that depending on the level of the attack. It doesn't give an excuse. We can't be in our emotions. The women have become more aggressive because they had to become warriors while we're being psychologically attacked. It's not a physical attack. The physical attack is an illusion. When you look at how many numbers of Indians it is, it's way more than what they telling us. It's way more than what we know, but we getting classified as Africans. So then they're not paying attention to how many it is of us. And they don't even know where we all at because of dad's protection that they call a deadbeat. Now, some of these cats are deadbeats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking up for dead. Like, not I don't like calling. To be honest, I don't like calling no Indian. I got to be real. When I mean when I say some of the cats are deadbeats, I don't mean the marketing that they use to call us after they done lied to us deadbeats. What I mean is some of these cats are not chiefs. Just because you're a male doesn't make you a chief. If you don't understand, you can ask me why. But just because you're a male doesn't make you a chief. And so I'm not taking up for somebody that that's not an actual chief or moving like a chief, but acting like that. You know, not even they're acting like kings. If you hear too many men, and don't get me wrong, I've said king and queen, just like I've said my ninja before. But I'm make you really a ninja. I just know that's some stuff we don't care about. So I'm gonna use it in everyday conversation, just like sometimes I'll be like Jesus, even though I know the truth behind what they mean when they say Jesus and the whole Zeus thing and the whole Hebrew thing. Like I understand all that. So I'm not saying that you can't be you and be hip hop and all that. I'm just saying that in the essence of who we are, we got to know we are chiefs and we got to start
Right.
moving like chiefs and make that more of a marketing promotional thing for these youngins. You don't want these youngins running around talking about
Hey, you got, you got, you got.
it's going to be a shot right here. This going to be a straight bow and arrow to
Hey,
whoever take it.
yeah, hey.
Here come an arrow. If you are running around telling our children that they got to depend on some kind of alien being from another planet versus depending on the nature of this planet, you are no realer than the preacher that's telling us some mythological bull. And I'm on TikTok. I say the rest. My point is, ain't it easier for y'all to get information on aliens than it is on your land? Stop focusing on UFOs, flying spaceships, all this other stuff, and focus on planting a seed in the ground to produce food for you to eat. The bare minimums, instead of focusing on, oh, we galactical beings that can travel and do this. You can't do none of that if you can't even plant a seed in the ground and make it grow. So the first thing to focus on would be the earth, This is if you want to
So
get
it's
in the
about getting
space.
grounded, is what you're saying?
It's not about getting grounded. It's about being in the
And learn to
ground
plant a seed in the ground before you
and
get on the
producing it.
rest of the other stuff. And then they, I mean, they have taken them away from nature and outside energies and stuff like that. So that's why I mean it's more computerized and digitalized as of what we're doing right now. When we could be outside, sun
Mhm.
gates, cavemen, or whatever the hell else.
Right.
So I meant it from that perspective. I just be nipping it in the bud, but you know, I'm following.
I know. I was added. I wasn't taking away from what you were saying. Uh, I wasn't taking away from what you were saying, darling. I was adding to it. I wasn't saying that you by you saying being grounded was incorrect. I said not only being grounded, but being actually inside the ground and planting in order for us. Everything comes from the ground. The shirt that I got on right now, the shirt you got on, that came from the ground. Cotton comes from the earth. Bananas, everything you could think of, metal, rocks, stones, crystals. But if the child is worshiping the crystal more than his mother and not respecting her mother, then they don't know the ancestors. You can't tell me about Ogun if you don't know your grandma. If you don't respect your mama, you don't respect Ogun, fool.
Hey,
You respect your mama. You respect your dad, your father. And by
but you
respecting
know,
your
sometimes,
father and your mother, then you can get to Ogun. But you can't even get to Ogun if you don't respect them because there's an order.
but you, and then that comes from being lied to too, though, because like I said, one of the girls, I mean, real twin sister sent me a link, and in the link, the title says because people have been being lied to about who they are for so long now and what
She
they
got the
are,
truth from me.
to where they don't try to separate us. She sent something that says Native Indians weigh in on relationship between blacks and Hispanics, and that's where the lie steps in it again because that's that separation thing where they're trying to say that these are the real Indians and these are the black people and these are the Hispanics. It's a labeling thing again, and I feel like that's why
Okay.
a lot of people
So
don't
I want to say
respect,
two
even
things. I
really
want
don't
to say two
respect
things.
their
I want to say
parents.
two things. I want to say two things. I want to say two things. She don't have to, but if she wants to come in, I'm gonna send. I'm gonna send you the link, and she can request to come in.
Yeah, she said we've been lied to. Huh? Yeah. I can't hear you now. But she said, yeah, we've been lied to, and that's what we have. That's what they've been doing to people. But I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
You can't hear me.
You breaking up.
Okay. What I was saying was I just sent you a link on. What about now?
You want me to send her the link?
Yeah, if she wants to join the panel, she can.
She
But
can't.
if she wants to
I
just stay in
mean,
TikTok, it's up to her. But
if she on TikTok, she said we
she
fight for
can. All
our.
she gotta do is click that link.
If she at work, we fight for our land. You want to get in? You want to come in? He said, like he said, you want to come in and speak. He said he'll send you a link. I mean, I can send you the link. But if you want to come in, but we on YouTube. She said we fight for our land. She said they lied. We've been lied to, and we fight for our land.
Tell her they want us to fight, but we don't have to fight for it.
And she said she's just listening.
All we have to do is, huh?
Yeah, they want us to
Tell her
fight.
what
He
she's
said, but we
saying.
don't have to fight.
Yeah, we don't have to fight because that's the whole illusion to make us think we got to fight. but we don't have to fight. All we have to do is go to our ancestors, aka mother, father, grandmothers, and start fighting with them. And even if you got to deal with all the bull crap that comes with them, get through all that and focus on the land part. That's what they don't want. They want us to think we have to fight for something we already have. What I'm trying to say is if she's Indian, her parents already have things that are probably not being claimed. Her mother probably has stuff that's not being claimed and nobody's actually tending to the land. So if you're not occupying the land and you're distracted and you're thinking that you got to go fight some illusional fight, guess what? That's Sun Tzu. That's Asian war. Sun Tzu, one time, he put all these torches on top of animals and send them down the hill. So then the people that saw them animals coming down the hill thought it was an army holding torches. But in reality, it was just some animals. So what I'm saying is part of warfare, psychological, is the main part of it. And the main strategy they use is to make you think you have to fight something that's not there to fight. So when he thought he had to fight, they sent their strongest armies towards those animals. While the strongest army was thinking they were going to fight, they went and took over the land that was left unoccupied. So you have to understand warfare strategy and know that the way that they win is by distracting you from protecting what you already have. If I can tell you, come over here, sign this contract, stay in this apartment, you don't go back to your grandma's house and do nothing. So then I can go and try to take that because you're over here distracted with a little one bedroom or two bedroom. Check,
Yeah.
check. And see, they use entertainment to distract us, y'all. They use entertainment to make you think that the thought movement or the rapper that's usually the when you look at the charts, you don't see Indians up there, black, what they call, I'm just going to use this for lack of better words, foundational black Americans. You don't see us on them charts. You don't see us headlining the movies no more like we used to because we're not, most of us are not falling for that same distraction no more. We could do it, but most of us don't want to. At this time, we done peak game, so they got to use the game on someone else. So then the next
Yeah.
strategy would be put them in place, make it seem like they got more than what we got. We get
Right.
upset about it, and we go back and forth about, oh, they call us katas, we call them tethers. Now we're spending all this energy on another enemy. So now we got like 5 different enemies. We got to go against the Mexicans. We got to go against the Asians. We got to go against the Africans. We don't got to go against none of them. All we got to do is come within ourselves and leave all that shit alone. All that shit is a distraction.
Yeah.
Check.
She said true that. She said, but we fight for all black people.
Black people don't have to fight. All we got to do is come to the family reunions and connect and get what each other's supposed to get. Even if you have to create your own family. If you're an Indian and you don't want to deal with certain Indians that may have sold out or something, that doesn't take you away from your Indian heritage. Create a chief with the man that you're with and start a whole nother situation, but still go claim that land or that area that you're from because it's rightfully yours and it needs tending to. Does that make sense, Reed?
So, because sometimes when, like I said, the way people were
I like
taught,
the energy she bringing though.
the way people were taught, like I said, and like the link she sent me, where Indians are Indians, black people are black people. Spanish and Hispanics, Mexicans and Asians and Asians. They have put that on people. So
Okay, let's go there. Then. Let's go there. Let's go there. I'm gonna tell you how you know Indians are not Indians, and I ain't even looking at what you're talking about. I'm just going straight off the heart chakra. So this is how you know that the so-called Indian ain't the Indian. The first way you know is based on the land itself. Where the Indians that they are saying are Indians, they were given a certain part of America that when you look at that part of America, it can't even produce a straight fruit. So that area is a desert. They have to make casinos because they're not producing farm and agriculture. The real Indian has always been known for, y'all heard of Thanksgiving, for soul food, for turkeys, for apples, oranges, bananas, everything that grows in this Garden of Eden comes from the real Indian. It doesn't come from the desert part of America. It comes from the Indian part of America. That Indian part is very protected. Let me put that out there. Don't get it twisted. The Indians have been protecting this for years. And when I say Indians, I ain't just talking about the copper tone Indians, because some people be like, the white man ain't the Indian. Oh, yes, he is. He's just a long range of the Indian. So don't you be confusing color, which is classism, with blood. Because once you got one drop of Indian blood in you, you are an Indian. Indians don't care about reparations. Reparations is business. That doesn't mean we don't want the business of reparations. It means that it has nothing to do with the land. The business is monopoly. It's a game. It's a coupon. It's an IOU. It has nothing to do with the land. When it comes to this land, we gonna fight. Period. So can't no one invade that because
that's what
when I
you
say we gonna
said
fight,
earlier.
I'm not talking about shooting no arrow. When I say we gonna fight, I'm not talking about shooting no arrow, no arrow. I'm talking about it, you will hear thunder, lightning, hurricanes, earthquakes. The earth responds to us. So we don't have to fight. The earth fights for us because we've been good to the earth. As a human on this earth, if you're not good to the earth, it will punish the group that's not being good to it because we are controlled by nature. We don't control nature. We are controlled by nature. Don't believe me. If you think you're not controlled by nature, all the women out there that say I ain't controlled by no nature, don't buy no tampons and see what happens.
You don't buy no tampons. You better get something else outside of the tampons then.
I just said you can't stop your nature.
I'm just saying. I mean, you can't stop a hurricane from coming and taking the top off
Hey,
the house if that's what they want to do. So, or a flood come and want to flood
no matter
if
how
that's
much
what they
taxes
want.
you pay, right?
Yeah, you can fucking that shit can destroy all that shit that you build.
No matter how much, no matter how much taxes you pay.
When you say that's your land, well, I'm about to go. Nature will wipe that land out if you ain't
Exactly.
do it chromatically in alignment of it. So I get what you're saying.
Exactly. So yeah, so yeah, so
We
we
have
don't have to
to,
be
we have to
supremacists.
hunt. She
We don't
said,
have to be
she
terrorists.
say, but we have to hunt to get our stuff.
No, we don't. It's all in your family. The reason why they want the family so dysfunctional is so we don't talk like we doing. They don't want us to talk. They want us to do everything but communicate with each other. I'm probably, if she's a real Indian and she's not capping, she probably kin to us in some kind of way. You understand what I'm saying, Ree?
Yeah.
That's why that's why we trying to bless her with situations for her to come do what she knows how to do. Like, oh, you know how to braid hair? I got boys, they need their hair braided.
You
I,
know.
I say boys, but they men. I got young men that need their hair braided. We'll pay you for that. So we trade, you know what I'm saying? AKA in this bull crap
This
monopoly
is
game,
sister.
they'll call it getting paid. But
This is her
huh?
sister. I said this is real sister, the lawyer.
Well, we're gonna need her too. you you know I'm gonna, you know damn well the way I talk, I'm gonna need her.
Be the Indian lawyer up in this bitch. For real, for real.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that, yeah, for real, for real. Like we need each other, and we're not fighting. I just there's enough information on the internet about we got to fight for something. My narrative that I'm bringing to the online world is the fight is over, and we got to start taking care of what we already have. If you keep fighting, I've been fighting all my life. You told Harpo to beat me. You know what I'm saying? All my life I had to fight. If we keep doing the color purple again, then we never gonna deal with black. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep dealing with color purple. And I'm just tired of saying that we gotta fight. No, we don't. You gotta forgive some of your family members. Go, and even if you don't want to deal with them, still deal with the birth certificates, death certificates, land deeds, the genealogy of your family, so you can know who you are, because that's where the blessings are at. If there's an elder that needs to be taken care of, you have to go take care of them. If you the
That's what
elder, you have to allow. Go ahead.
yeah, that's how they operate. Really, really.
What you mean?
That's with their mom and them. They go and make sure they're okay and take care of them and her stuff.
And while they doing that, they have to ask mama questions that she can answer, so they can get information to know how to just keep maneuvering while she here,
Yeah,
because that's what the elders are for.
that's why they know that
They're
they.
for
That's how they know that.
information. They
That's
don't.
why she said they been getting their Indian checks and stuff since they were kids because of their mom and they because their mom told them who they were and their background and stuff. That's why they know they're Indians and all that because they
Right,
talking to
right.
their mom and them, the family, the family.
Right, that's what. Well, then they on their game. Then that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what all of us got to do. It ain't no fight. All we got to do is love on each other, yo. We don't have to deal with these illusions that we
Yeah, she said
suffer
she
from
ain't
some
got a
kind of
lot. She
weakness
Indian.
and that we up against a fight.
Yeah, she said she ain't got a lot. She was
I
Indian.
can tell if she taking.
She sent me her mom's, you know, profile to show it.
No, I can tell if she an Indian because Indians we passionate about what we believe. So I can tell that she's coming from a ancestral native vibe. Just the
Yeah.
fact that she got energy to bring to the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
so, and when you willing to take care of the elders like that,
That's why we
that is
automatically
one of our
vibe when
first
she came on my
responsibilities.
TikTok. When they came on my TikTok, that's why we all been connected ever since and been vibing so good together because we know when we come across our tribe.
Well, the person that I'm asking her to do hair of, I don't know if she know this, but she's a huge publicist, and she's also as crazy as she is. She's also tribe too, and I don't even know. I haven't
She
met who
don't
you're
know
talking
because she's a
about,
lawyer. She
but
not
I
the
was
one
still
that
willing to
does
make that
hair.
connection. I know I'm talking about her sister.
Oh yeah,
I'm saying I was still willing to connect her because I compete
tribe.
blackness. Like I
Yeah,
compete,
black.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Tribe. Yeah, I compete when somebody. Yeah, I get a vibe. I'm just already
Right.
saying go ahead and connect because I'm not trying to block it. I'm not trying to say yo you got to give me this much. I want to make this kind of
Yeah.
percentage. I'm just saying, hey man, go get it.
Yeah, that's how. Like I said, tribe Indian. We are when we connect. That's what we're saying. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah. The reason why y'all, for everybody that may want to be like, who, why is he even? When you all see Ron, that's the government name, which is short for Real Online Network. It used to be Real Online Native, but some people confuse the native thing with the $5 Indian. So I started saying, okay, well, Real Online Network, because I'm here to network with anybody that's real. You know what I'm saying? And I don't showcase everybody I know. I vet people. So I kind of make it seem like I ain't got too much going on. So you go to my website or you go to my YouTube, it'll seem like I ain't got that much going on, but I'm very connected. When you real, you don't have to show everything. You just keep it real. You know, you gotta like, yo, I know this person, I know that person. You can just be real, and people gonna feel your realness. You know what I'm saying? I need people to feel my realness. I don't got nothing to prove. I do like going on panels, and I do like studying, but a lot of times when I go to someone's panel, or I'm going on YouTube, I'm listening to somebody that read a lot of books, and they can speak from the book perspective, but they can't speak from the heart perspective because they ain't keep it real to their heart chakra. And let me say this while I'm on the chakra thing, right? Boy, this gonna be a hot topic. Y'all gonna watch people start talking about this. And then, like I said, anybody that I'm here for the debates now, finally. But anybody that want to debate me on this, call me, hit me, whatever, right? And I ain't got trying to cap or get followers. Right? It's just if you want to question me, come question, right? All right. The whole chakra system is based on, it's like kindergarten. It matters, but it's like something that you learn in kindergarten or Head Start. So they'll be like, you got 7 points in your chakra system. So I'm gonna say 9. They'll tell you that the crown chakra is the activation of the third eye. They're not telling you that that lower chakra is the actual third eye, though. The third eye is not at the top; it's at the bottom. The reason why they don't want you to think that the third eye is at the bottom, even though, think about it, y'all. If you a female and you stand back and you open it up, it looks like an eye. If you're a male and you stand back and you look at the top and the tip and you open it up, it's gonna look like an eye. My point is, ain't no eye in the middle of your forehead. So when you count the third eye is at the bottom because it can produce more eyes. The male puts it into the female and produces more eyes. Doesn't that sound like a third eye?
Ah,
When you talk about the heart chakra, the heart, what they call it the heart chakra is really the brain. So the middle chakra that they're calling the heart chakra, this is why I need shadow band, y'all, is the brain chakra. Your brain is not at the top. What they call your brain is really your heart. When you start being in tune to your heart more than your mind, that can be tricked. See, the top part can be tricked, the bottom part can't. The top part, a joker can say anything to get to the bottom part. But once you get to the bottom part, if something goes wrong, you're gonna have to deal with either a baby or some type of disease or some type of energy that takes away from you. The mind, someone can play with all day. That's why it's on the top part, because it's not the protected part. That's why somebody can hit you in it quicker than they can hit you in the lower part. The most important parts are below the chin. They'll tell you cut the head off. You cut the head off the body, but guess what? The body gonna keep moving because of the heart. That's what I ain't gonna go too deep. That's enough on that. But I'm just telling y'all to look at things from a different perspective and stop
Uh,
believing some of
it's
the
crazy because as you
indoctrination,
said
and let's
that,
get our youngins talking to us.
you said that about the heart, and as I was scrolling, right when you said the heart, somebody got a black and white picture of Queen Elizabeth, and they've got a heart beside her, like by her neck, at the same time. That's all. That's all. Just crazy.
Yeah.
Time.
See, if some people, including Masons, and my grandfather was a Mason. We all got Masons in our family in some kind of way. You can't be in America and not have Masons in your family somewhere, a cousin or uncle, granddad,
You said, but the
mom,
eye is
dad,
spiritual.
mama could be an Eastern Star, whatever.
You said,
Huh?
you said, but the eye, she said, but the eye is spiritual. It tells us about the future. Mine too.
Tell her the eye is her lower part. The eye is in her what they call the vagina area, and it not tell you about the future. It can create the
It
future,
births the future, yeah.
which tells you the future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That is the lower part of the eye, which is they tell you the chakra is backwards. Like I said, everything they tell y'all is backwards. So when they tell us right from left, you got to go counterclockwise. They say clockwise, you got to go counter. Everything they said is in reverse. So when you just take the chakra system and flip it upside down, and you gonna have it right. But like I said, they want us not operating. They say get rid of the 808 drum. You know why they say get rid of the 808 drum?
Why?
Because they say it vibrates the lower chakra and it causes violence. That's not true. They want you to get rid of the. If that was true, Kanye would have never came out with 808 and Heartbreaks. What happened was he came out with 808 and Heartbreaks, and they was like, "Oh no, let's change this energy right away and make 808 a thing of violence because he's gonna have them making love again." Because James Brown, the Funk, and every original Black American, aka Indian artist, once they found out about the 808, that was the drop on the one. That means love making, passion, and energy that ended up creating another chief. And to slow our multiplication down, they tried to make it seem like the 808 drum was about violence. They rather have you talking about knowledge. Knowledge is confusing and it become tricknology because it's all based on mind. Your mind can play tricks on you. Scarface, the South. But the boom boom bat, that's New York. They dumbed down the bass. It used to be live instrumentation when it was in the South. When you put it on wax and you start scratching it, you're using the power of the drum and you're using a vinyl. So vinyl was another form of technology that dumbed down it the same way we getting dumbed down now through auto tone. So the start of that dumbing down was when they started putting the bands on wax and then going further and further away from the actual instrumentation that created the rhythm that made you want to produce and multiply based on a drum. We are chiefs, not kings.
Right. Yeah. Yep, that's all. Yep, I feel you. It resonates. Makes sense to me, of course. Sure. So yeah, y'all. Like I said, if y'all feel if y'all have any more questions or any questions at all, excuse me, bless me.
Yeah,
Feel free.
I'm back. let me say this. Let me say this too while I'm up here. So I'm sharing this on my Facebook and it's on YouTube,
On my
and
Facebook.
no doubt. So some people are gonna come across this with their own agenda. So then they're gonna start trying to take shots at me. They're gonna try to blackball, all because they've been benefiting off of not keeping it this real. You know what I'm saying? And then they looking for something that they already have. And when you do that, you can keep it going. You can keep the game going or whatever. But I'm at a point where I'm protected, respected, and never neglected. So I don't care if I get hated on. I've already been talked about. I've already tried all kind of different angles of being something that to pacify some of this stuff. But I need all the real ones not to do anything other than increase your realness. And realness ain't got nothing to do with gossip. It ain't got, you don't go online, and I'm talking about a lot of things tonight. But one of the things I'm talking about when I say we are chiefs, not kings, is if you a chief, this is how you know the difference between a chief and a king. A king may go online and tell everybody's business to please the kingdom. So if the king ain't nothing but someone that comes and says, "What does everybody think?" Okay, well then I'm gonna do what everybody thinks because I want the people to love me. A chief is like they may not get what I'm talking about at all. These same people I'm talking to may be the ones that take me out, but at least I'm gonna put this out there for another chief to hear it to take it up after I transform or whatever. So my point is
Yeah.
saying, huh?
I was gonna say it's like the leader and the follow thing, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, a chief don't need followers because he's already just being a see a chief is not a leader. A chief is someone that has to do, like I said, you could think of the Italians as the Don. The Don is usually the last one to benefit. He's the one that is suffering so everybody else can win when you look at the Italian mafia. So you would think, oh, the Don has everything. No, the Don has the most problems. A chief usually has the most problems. There's individual chiefs, and then there's chiefs of the whole tribe. An individual chief is someone that created a family, aka tribe, with a woman, and then he's the head of that tribe because he
Mm-hmm.
created that tribe. That's the individual chief. But then when you have elders that are in place and your job then is to be the chief of the section after the elders. So some of you youngins that come up, if you think I'm a king, then you can come up thinking you're better than me and you're gonna rule better than me because you like I'm a young king, so I gotta kill this king. That's how you lose the land. But if you come up under the code of chief, then you're looking like I have to respect every elder on here, especially the elder that is protecting us, because I'm going to be the next person to have to protect us. And I got to learn from this person that's currently protecting us and protecting the land. And when I say the land, I'm talking about the things that the land bears. So I'm just putting that out there because I'm just tired of this fake African rap shit where they making it seem like they came up with everything. Well, let's talk about why we the chiefs in hip hop. We the chiefs in hip hop because hip hop wouldn't exist if you didn't have Little Richard, James Brown. I can go all the way back to Coltrane. I can go back to Thaddeus Monk from Carolina. I can go to Florida, what they call Florida, and go to the first people rapping. We can go back to the 40s and find people breakdancing. So none of this stuff is new. It's just been flipped and spent away from the original origin of it to turn it into something called hip hop to make it a commodity for somebody like Fat Joe to come in and say that the United States does not have any culture. That is the bullshit and the game that they want to play. We can choose to sit here and play that game, or we can just say, as my homie would say, I'm taking my ball and going home.
Well, I
And all
thought
we
Busta
got to do, y'all, is take the
Rhymes
ball
made
and go home. Busta Rhymes said it, and Fat Joe said it. Busta Rhymes said it
hip
because
hop
it
awards.
benefits his narrative of him being. But the reason why Busta Rhymes said it in the form of entertainment was because it benefits his entertainment. It gets him views. It also salutes where he's from. And the reason why like Fat Joe said it is the same thing. It benefits where he's from, and it gets him the views for entertainment. The reality of it, though, is that both of them would be a distraction from us giving them so much energy that we don't focus on our own energy because all of it is a copy of our energy anyway. So we don't need to be distracted with no awards on a television show that we don't even own that's already outdated anyway. Not
It
too many
really
people are
said
even
that.
watching that network no more. That network, BET didn't exist until Bob Johnson. When Bob Johnson sold it, it got sold to Viacom. Viacom has not been knowing what to do with that network because there's a lot of older people there that don't tap into the Indian that is on this new network to be able to take things to a new level. So then it even starts born their own kids, and
Yeah.
then it becomes non commodity. We can focus on that old outdated game, or we can get into the new energy. The new energy is not about what these youngins are talking about, and it's not a diss to the youngins because we want y'all to succeed and do all kind of things that you were birthed to do. But we do want to keep it real with you that you're not going to do any of those illusional things. Don't fall for the same game that worked in the old paradigm. You know what I'm saying? Listen to your elders that listen to their elders that you can get who you really are instead of being in a metaverse illusional paradigm thinking it's about views and
But
likes
I've heard some
and
people. But I've
go
heard
ahead.
some people, you know, with the YouTube platform, you got different people, like I said, with different teachings and upbringings and stuff like that. I've heard some of them say that our ancestors, our moms and grandmas and them didn't know shit. So why would we listen to them when they was already dumbfounded by the system and all this, and they didn't have enough information and all this other kind of stuff. So they're saying that they don't know shit,
Well,
but you say listen to this. You have
first of
people
all,
that I've heard so many people say that it's theory that our ancestors and our grandmas and moms and didn't know shit.
okay, I can debunk that two ways. First of all, if you don't think that you can learn from a dummy, then you're not that intelligent. So you can even learn from a dummy. So even if the dummy don't know what he's talking about, you can learn why he's dumb. So that is the first debunk. So even if you think your grandma is dumb, you can still learn from why you thought she was dumb, like what made her dumb. So, but that's the first debunk, just to get that out the way. The second and most realist debunk is if you calling your grandma dumb fool, that means you're dumb because you're from the DNA. And the DNA, they'll say Rashad Jamal talks about DNA ain't real. But when I say it, I'm saying it in the same terminology that I'm saying everything else in for you to feel me, not for you to analyze every word. But inside your chromosomes, inside your bloodstream is information. That's the same information your grandma had in her. So your grandma's not going to lie to herself. My son is sitting on the couch. I'm not about to lie to my son because then I will be lying to myself. If I'm lying to him, that means I think I'm a king, not a chief. But if I'm moving in chief energy, I'm going to keep it real with myself. And so that means he is another version of myself. I reproduced myself. I reincarnated through him. So why, while I'm here with my reincarnation, would I tell my reincarnation misinformation? So your grandma didn't lie to you. When your grandma told you that she was Indian, did she have to deal with the politics and the manipulations of that time? That's like the conversations we trying to have where we say my ninja. Oh, I don't mean ninja like you saying it. I mean ninja like my ninja. And all it's yeah, we don't have to get stuck on that. That's all. We too intelligent to get stuck on that at this point.
Real
At this
said,
point, anybody
Real, oh, go ahead. I was gonna tell you
go
what
ahead.
she was saying in the
No, go ahead.
comments. Just giving the comment people time
Yeah,
too.
go ahead. I know I be on fire. Go ahead.
Yeah, she was saying that first. She said she feels that us Indians is spiritual by nature. We are smart. We are spiritual. The third eye is all spiritual. She said the third eye in Indian traditions, the third eye refers to the anja for the brow, meaning the chakra. The third eye refers to the gate that leads to the inner realms and space of higher consciousness.
Tell a higher consciousness is when you can create another consciousness. That's the most highest you can get. When I can create another consciousness, it's gonna come. I there's only one place you can recreate. The only place you can recreate is your vagina and your penis. That is your third eye. Your third eye is not at the top of your shoulders. You can't make a baby that way. You can't create another mind that way. I created this joker on the couch. I created him through my penis, not through my head. Now, what they gonna say? They gonna say that is a thought. He started as a thought. No, he didn't. It was not no thought. If I had thought, I might not have created him. If I was thinking about it, I might not have done it. But because I wasn't thinking, because I was being controlled by my third eye, which is what they call a penis. My third eye created him, not my mind, not my brain. My third eye stood up and said, I can see, and I'm going in. Her third eye opened up and said, I see it coming in, and I'm willing to open up, and we created another set of eyes. That is your third eye. The chakra system is upside down. The chakra system doesn't go crown chakra down to red chakra, and the red chakra is something you have to master. The reason why they talk about Kama Sutra, the Asians know this. The reason why they're so into tantric and Kama Sutra, and when you look in the Egyptian information, this all ties back into Indian information. When you look at it, you'll see that they're all talking about sex on side a lot of those teachings, because sex is how you multiply. So they don't want you to multiply, so they'll tell you your third eye is your mind, so then they can manipulate your mind in order to get you to do everything besides be with your family. See, if the devil greatest trick, and when I say devil, I mean what they call shaitanic energy, negative energy. The greatest trick of shaitanic or negative energy is to make you think it's positive. So if I tell you, hey, what you're doing is a sin, what I'm doing is right. I don't have sex. I'm a monk. I wrap up. I carry, and you don't produce and be fruitful. Then you're going against the laws of nature, because the laws of nature, what tree doesn't bear apples? What plant does not give you more fruit? If the plants can give you more fruit, if the ants can give you more ants, why would the humans have to stop? Our whole job is to multiply. The more we multiply, the more people we got. And like it just don't make to take care of the land. The ants have to take care of the ground in areas that we can't take care of. As humans walking around here, aka you want to call yourself God, whatever you want to call yourself, as chiefs of the land, our job is to protect it and make sure that it's in balance and that we're in balance with it, just like the ant. So we're similar to the ant. The only difference is we have more to do than the ant. But the ant has something important to do. So it runs around the ground doing all kind of stuff that we can't even see to do. But the micro level of existence is the human, aka whatever you want to call yourself. Our job is to do what we do on an intelligent level that the ant can't do. So I'm just pointing out again that the greatest trick of the satanic energy and a lot of these people that preach, a lot of these people that teach, is to have you thinking that your third eye is at the top of your head. So then while you're thinking the third eye is at the top of your head, they're controlling your that head. That's why they would castrate a lot of that's why they would take off a lot of the lower parts because they didn't want us to know how powerful the lower parts were, you know, and a lot of the pillars inside of like, you know, I mean, just go research some of the studies on the male structures that are based on the penis. I hope this don't get too bad for TikTok, but I'm not saying a bad word. But go look at some of the information on that, and then just try to think outside the box and look at the fact that the chakra system is backwards. And then when you look at the fact that the chakra system is backwards, like how come everything else they tell us is supposed to be right, but the chakra system is, I mean, it's supposed to be wrong, but the chakra system is right? Come on, it's common sense. Well, what about the Eye of Horus? The Eye of Horus. Okay, let's talk about the time frame that the Eye of Horus got painted. The dynasties that existed during that time frame. You got to go further back. Okay, let's do it like this. When you say up north, right? You think up top. When you say down south, you think down low, right? Common fucking sense. Up top, up north. Down south, right? Down south, point up north right now with your finger. You're pointing to the top of your head. Point down south. You're pointing towards your penis. The penis is the third eye. The vagina is the third eye. Just saying. So they say, I'm going down south. You know what I'm saying? Hey, did you go down south though? Yeah, nigga, I went down south. You understand? The information, if for my young men out there, if you want some information, go down south. You feel me? If
It's
you
not
want
in our.
creation, go down south.
It keeps freezing. You say it's not in our brain. So really, you said it's not in our brain.
It's not.
I don't know why it keeps freezing. Probably because we're talking some real stuff.
Yeah, it ain't probably nobody else online having this kind of conversation at the moment. That's why I said I need Miss Lawyer. I'm gonna need your support and tell somebody. I mean, share the information. I'm not one of them like, share, subscribe type people. I gotta. That's why I be going to other people's panels because they do a better job of that than me. I just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying she right. It's not in our brains. If someone can tell me or show me that I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected. But
Well,
I'm only saying that.
the term that
Go
they
ahead.
use, may knock your brains out. We know they don't mean literally.
Say what? What?
A
Say
saying
what?
down south is like, "Can I knock your brains out?" And that means something sexually down south. And you said that's where the third eye was at. So they still was saying the word brains, but they was meaning down there, sexually down south. And he
Right.
said that's where the third eye was at. So they still,
Yeah, it does. That's why I said she was giving me brain. Like you'll
yeah,
hear it, and you'll hear certain metaphors in the music and stuff where they be like, "She was giving me brain," you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I'm getting head. They be like, "Oh, my head," you know what I'm saying? Like they call it head. So you hear it metaphorically in a lot of things. It's just for
yeah.
some reason people don't point out the lie in that chakra system. You know what I'm saying? Your mind will have you. The mind can be tricked by illusion, which is
She said
like I
something about
said,
the mind earlier. She said the mind is a terrible game to play with.
right. Yes, the mind can make people do all kind of stuff.
That's why I encourage people to think in peace. Because I know that's dealing with the mind. And that's where it starts at. A lot of people
But
battles be in the mind and war.
I'm res- right. You can keep talking while I'm responding to somebody in Paris that's on my other line. On mama's name.
Okay.
Let me know if you want to join or ask questions. They text me questions.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, I got stuck on the chakra thing for some reason. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Just we chiefs, not kings. You know what I'm saying. We have to come up out of a lot of the indoctrination that was force fed to us in elementary school. We got to get our children to come out of a lot of indoctrination that was force fed to them. You have to have room for other nationalities that was also force fed stuff. We can't be non-Indian, meaning we can't be non-heart or non-thoughtful to think that we were the only ones that were lied to. You know what I'm saying? We just have to go forward in the future without the lies. Go ahead.
Everybody was lied to. They had to go through the school system.
Yeah,
They get taught the information they wanted to hear.
yeah, some kind of
Their
way.
parents weren't teaching them. They would go to school to
Yeah, and
learn.
then see what's
That's why they built the school system. To go to school to
yeah,
learn
and
outside of the home.
say that again.
The school system was built
What you
because
say?
that was a way for them to lure you out your home, get learned, taught at school by somebody that's not your parent.
Right,
The information that they wanted to program you with.
right,
That's why they say you can get arrested if you don't take your child to learn that stuff.
and
So they
right,
know us Indians would have chose to talk them on our own
right,
versus the school system, period.
right. And we spend years, shoot, decades, centuries on what we thought they think and all that versus what we know. So
Hmm.
my whole thing is at some point, not at some point, at the point we at right now, the universe is even showing us that we have to focus on the truth. One of the best and easiest and quickest ways, no matter what someone's showing you inside of a book, no matter what somebody's showing you in a picture, no matter what you think you got to go to court and try to find proof on, they're like, yo, in order for you to get your land back, we got to present this to court. No, we don't. All you got to do is go and tap into your family because you don't know how much land is in your family, and even if someone married into your family, there's still a way because you we got a lot that is starting to try to happen too. A lot of people are trying to find um, natives of America in order to marry into their family, and it's not the first time it happened. but it's been like a resurgence of people trying to find Indians and then marry them so they can take their land because they came from a African village that ain't have nothing but a hut or something. You know what I'm saying? So then they try to come to America to escape the capitalism, or not capitalism, the, you know what I'm trying to say, the indoctrination that's happening in their area. So they come to America and then try to find an Indian, aka foundational Black American, to marry,
Right.
so then they can occupy their land. That's called a land grab. But we already thought about that as chiefs. So when they try that, they run into what this other African said on this panel that I was debating with. He's really not, well, he might be African, but this African I was debating with on this
Right.
panel,
Right. Really.
he, huh?
I was agreeing with what really was saying in the comments, but I'm listening.
Um, what was I saying? Oh, I was saying I was debating with this African on this panel, and I was trying to explain to him that he was like, I run into this brick wall when I'm doing my genealogy. And I said, well, what brick wall are you running into? So then he pulled up something from the internet, and I said, brother, that's not a brick wall, that's a firewall. Somebody put that on the internet for you to be stuck on a firewall, not a brick wall, because a brick wall is physical. So my point of saying that is saying that some people are trying to marry into the Indian, not because they actually love them, not because they actually care for them, but because they're strictly on a crusade mission to try to inherit land.
Mm.
And they're going to run into brick wall again with trying to do that because the Chiefs already had discussions and made adjustments for when that would happen. And the thing about the Chiefs is it's not just a bloodline thing, but it's backed by the earth itself. So
Mm.
you could be thinking that you coming to do something, and then the earth says, no, that's not what you about to do because we've been treating the earth right. So when you talk about magical or God powers,
Mm.
mystical powers,
Mm.
until somebody shows me that they can float out in the sky,
They can do what?
float in the sky without any kind of technology or anything. I'm talking about, and not like Michael Jordan for like a little bit. I'm talking about just all you doing is flying straight through the sky without nothing attached.
Yeah, but the
Until
reason why
somebody,
we do that already automatically, but gravity plays its part. But without gravity playing its part, we would be floating through the sky because that's what we were actually doing. But gravity holding us down.
yeah, I understand. I understand when people say that, but they cannot back that up by showing and proving. So it sounds good, but what I do know that someone can back up is
People
when
have
you
been to
plant,
space and
huh?
floated. A space astronaut has floated through the sky. What are you
I ain't
saying?
talking about. I'm talking about on Earth.
Either way, you just a person. They go to space and they show you that they can float through the sky. So it's been done. It's been proven
Man, I can show you Michael Jordan in
without
slow motion.
gravity.
I can show you Michael Jordan in slow motion and tell you that he's flying. If you believe me, it's up to you.
I
Well, you
mean,
gonna
it's
buy them
like
shoes?
watching somebody from a television and not in physical form where they can fluctuate and slow it down and speed it up and all this other stuff that
They
they
said
can
that
do.
we landed on the moon, but some people say that that was inside of a studio. So what my point is that
That don't
they
make no
say that
sense.
they say that we was the first to land on the moon, but some people say that was not the
So
moon,
you
that
trying
was
to
the
tell me
studio.
astronauts don't go up there and float in the sky? Is what
I'm
you
trying
trying
to
to
tell
say?
you that most of the people that talk about what astronauts have done haven't done it themselves.
Yeah, but
Or what
you just said that people don't
I'm
float.
talking about things that they ain't done.
You
I
just said
said that they can show you anything on television. I can take. I was looking at something on Instagram where
you just
Richard.
said nobody can float through the sky, and all I was saying is the astronauts can't float through the sky, and so can we, but gravity is holding us down. And you said that sound good. And I said the reason why it sounds good to you is because you might not be knowledgeable of that or you don't think it's true.
I said you can't prove it.
They have proof.
I said you can't prove it.
You can't prove that nobody can't float through the sky.
I didn't say that I could.
Okay, so you made the statement though saying that until you see somebody, but just because you didn't see nobody don't mean that it don't exist, is what I'm trying to say.
That's why I said until.
All right.
So my point is until I do. I didn't say it was impossible. I said I until I do. And
And I
my
say
point
you haven't
is
never seen no astronaut
I
float through the
haven't
sky.
seen an astronaut. I've
Or
seen
you
it on
meant
TV
okay, so you meant in a physical form. You want to see it.
until until I see, not in space, not on TV, but until I'm chilling right where I'm at and I open my blinds and I see somebody out there floating and they ain't got no space thing, no
Yep.
jetpack or nothing. They just floating. Then I'm gonna be like, hey, can you float your ass in here so I can ask you some questions?
What
Other
question
than
you
that,
gonna ask them though if they be floating?
why the hell is you floating by my window?
Because you just said that if we with this land, we don't have to worry about it, we share it. So that's what they will be floating by your windows because you say it's shared land.
Okay, but that's not my point. Like we going into Mickey Mouse land.
No,
My
you don't
point,
have to make it out land without keeping it real, but it's all good.
my
All right.
point, my point was what I can prove is the most magical, scientifical, mystical, metaphysical thing that I've seen is a woman create a whole nother being. I haven't seen nothing outdo that in my years on this planet. I haven't seen a man, I seen him play a part in it, but I haven't seen them actually carry it. So when I look at a woman and I
He
say,
do
so this
carry
is,
it. He do carry it. When it
I
comes
say,
out of the woman, because he helped create it too. So she's carrying it in the womb, but he has to carry it outside the womb and the rest of life as it proceeds to need carry. So each one of them carries it. One
Ninja,
carries.
what? What? There's only one person carrying that baby.
No, it's two that carries it. While it's
No, I've done had four boys that I participated in the creating of, but I didn't carry them. I was out create while she was carrying it. I think I was trying to create some more.
I
So
said, she carried it and then you carried it. But
I
each one
never
of y'all
carried no
carried.
baby. What are you talking about?
Also, either way, a man do carry the baby, even out the hospital and everywhere through the room
I'm
to the
talking
bed.
about the. I'm
They
not
carry
talking
it to
about
the
after
grocery
the
store, to
baby.
the doctor's appointment. They both carry the baby just in different ways.
I'm not talking about when the baby comes out. I'm talking about carrying. Let me finish my whole statement so we don't do that like you know what I mean, back and forth like Run DMC or something.
So why you gonna title it a freestyle debate, but I can't debate or talk about
You
it?
you can. I just want to get my points in. Or when because you can debate it. I'm not saying I'm
Don't
just
tell me to cut you off and it ain't gonna bother you, and then say you I'm not letting you get your points in because then I won't cut you off like you say I can. I'll just be quiet and listen is what I'm saying.
okay. You want to cut me off before I start now?
All I'm saying is the male and the female, the woman and the man created the seed, the baby. I don't know what the theory is that it was just a woman that created and carried it. That's not how that's not true. But
Can I
okay,
respond? Can I respond?
I'm done.
Okay. First of all, I said I participated in creating it, but I said I did not carry it as far as when the baby is created. After I play my role in the creation, the baby is nurtured by Mother Nature, aka the woman. So Mother Nature has an umbilical cord, creates a whole nother attachment to the baby that feeds the baby, then nurtures it, protects it, when she actually allows the baby to come out, when she's the first one to touch it. So even though I created it, I don't even get to touch it until she gives me permission to touch it because it's coming out of her. So when
Who's
it
the
comes,
first one to touch what?
the woman is the first one to touch the baby when it's about to come out.
No, it's not. The woman don't be touching the baby. The doctor be touching the baby.
So your name, I'm why you saying this, the name of your campaign is Lips, Live in Peace. And you trying to tell me that when the baby come out them lips, it's not touching no lips from the inside out.
You're saying her body, it's been touching her body.
That's my
I'm
point.
talking about physical hands touching it.
I'm not talking about hands.
You was touching
I'm
it while it was inside of her. If you was doing any kind of activities tied to sex, you was touching it with your eye, your third eye. It was poking it while you was in that. Our other eye making a whole, you know what I'm saying, scene.
I said when the baby's coming out, the woman is the first one to touch it. There ain't no duck in that statement.
If you say so, but that's, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is.
It is because it's coming from out of her. So that means before the doctor can even put his hands on it, if she goes to a doctor, some women don't go to a doctor, they have it right there at the house. But before anybody puts his hands on the baby, it's coming off of her skin. So it's flesh of her flesh. And what I'm trying to say is when that
And your flesh
woman,
too. The male flesh too.
no, it's the male's information.
And
He
flesh.
the
That's
Yeah, you
why
can say that too. You can say that. That's not. I'm
they
not.
separated. It's both that created that vessel. It ain't just on the woman. I feel
I'm
like
not talking about it's just on the woman. I'm not saying that it don't take two to make things go right. I already said that in the beginning. I said I know I play a role in that. I said the woman though is the one that is manifesting a whole nother being inside of them, a whole nother brain. That brain is not in my stomach or my balls. That brain is coming out the woman. So what I let me give the credit to the woman like I'm trying to do.
it's not
The
just
one
true credit though.
so you trying to tell me I have a man. I can't have no baby in my balls.
It's sperm that shoots out of your area, your eye, in her eye, comes to meet to create a brain. So two people created that brain. It just started forming inside of her portal.
I
But
didn't say
why
that. I
brain
didn't say I,
developed in that portal is because of the male. So
okay,
the
I'm gonna go to Texas on you. I'm gonna chop and screw it. I said I play a role in the creation of a human nation. I already said that I play a role in it. I'm not talking about the role that I play. I'm talking about the woman's role. I said the most phenomenal, metaphysical, mystical, and magical thing on this planet is a woman being able to carry another human. And
and
what
I
I'm saying,
think that's beautiful.
right, but there's a
But
point
both
to why I'm saying that. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, my fault.
Yeah, I got a little point to where I was going.
Okay, I got a passion, it's my fault.
So my point is that that's why we are chiefs because our job, the same way when you plant a seed in the ground, Mother Nature is going to protect that seed at all costs, whether it's through chaos energy or whatever. It's going to get busy on making sure that that land is protected. It's the same
Um,
with a female that naturally, without her mind having anything to do with it, her balance of her chemical makeup and her genetic makeup is going to give that seed what it needs to grow and develop and then come out to become its own tree to produce another family tree. And I'm pointing all that out to say that when we focus on respect for creation of one another, then we don't subtract or divide one another. We add and we multiply to one another. And anybody that's talking about anything outside of that is selling you a book because they're not being real.
Well,
So
I
there's
feel like
nothing
they
wrong
left
with books
something out
though.
of the book.
There's nothing wrong with books. You like a good movie sometimes, but
You
don't
said,
confuse the book with what you are. What I'm trying to
you
say is if
know,
someone's telling you, hey, I want to talk about this history and how they did us. I want to talk about how bad it was in the 80s. I want to talk
CT,
about how bad it was yesterday. I want to talk about how bad it's going to be tomorrow. Anybody that's doing that is trying to sell you something. And that's cool because it's all right, but it ain't got nothing to do with the truth. The truth don't have to sell you nothing.
you know what? I kind
What?
of know while you're breaking this down. I kind of know why they say that they try to erase the black man and take the, you not know where your father, you got to find your father if you want to find the land and stuff like that.
Uh,
They say Mother Nature, but who's to not say that it is a Father Nature too? Why was it just separated as just the mother associated with nature when they both can be associated with nature?
I'm gonna tell you why. You okay? This is why. The reason why you give the mother nature the credit of being mother nature, aka mother earth, aka mother ship. The reason why you give the
Father
mother the
shit.
credit is because the mother produces the father. You can't have a father without a mother.
Huh?
If the if they don't let me in unless I take it, and then if I take it, it's not gonna have the
You
things
don't
that
have
take
to
it.
let nothing in that's already yours if y'all see eye to eye.
You can't see eye to eye without the mother deciding to look at you.
And the father deciding to look at the mother too. It got to take two. And that's the thing I think they've been doing for so long, along with history. They've
Okay,
been.
so let me ask you this: you still on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok too.
Cause I want TikTok to hear this. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg?
She talking about how was Jesus born? Um,
Oh, she's smart.
um, like I was saying,
Which comes first, the chicken or the egg?
which comes first, the chicken or the egg? The
Yeah.
egg comes first, and
Then
then the
who
chicken.
then who provided the egg?
The mother and the father.
And what was the mother and father? A donkey?
I'm supposing they was a chicken if they
So then
like a
how did the egg come before the chicken then?
because the mother and the father that was there
If the
before the
mother and father was a chicken, that means the chicken was there before the egg.
okay, well they say the same thing about the Indians. Like they didn't exist and that they didn't have children that was still
You
physically
don't.
and stuff here
It's
either.
okay to say you don't know which one.
It ain't that
Ask
I
really
don't
real.
know.
Ask really real. Which one come first, the chicken or the
I
egg?
said the egg.
But then when I said where did the egg come from, you said the chicken.
Yes. The
So
cycle
that
of life.
debunked.
Just like the
So then
ancestors.
that. So then
It
that
debunked the
debunked.
ancestors then theory. If that's the case,
Huh?
it debunks the ancestor theory then if you're trying to debunk the egg theory or where that came from the chicken. That's the you debunking the ancestor theory.
Before we go to another topic, uh, I'll need you to answer the what I just asked you, and then I'm gonna answer what Rail said. Which one comes first, the chicken or the egg? Your answer was the egg. Then I said that where did the egg come from? You said the chicken. So that means you didn't really answer correctly because you said that the chicken came before the egg.
I answered it correctly. You just didn't get me. So you feel like, or you took it that I didn't answer it correctly, is what I'm saying.
Okay, then
From
which one? You
unknowing,
saying the egg
of
comes
course I didn't
first?
answer it.
You say egg, the
Yeah,
egg comes first, but before the egg could be there, the only way the egg could be there is because of the chicken.
exactly.
So how did the egg come first if it needed a chicken to get there?
What? The same with the ancestors. How did we get here? The ancestors didn't come first for us to get here. It's the same thing. The circle of life.
Okay. So to keep it, this is to answer Relly Rel's question. She said, what did she say about Jesus?
She just said, "How was Jesus born?" If it was, she just asked how Jesus was born,
Okay,
and
I'm
she
on
said
Facebook. Y'all
Galatians
can get me a. I'm on
11
Facebook. I'm
4
on.
and Galatians 2:15.
Okay, I'm on Facebook. This probably gonna get me in a lot of trouble. But until somebody shows up and show me that Jesus was actually born, then that's no different than the other point I was making about somebody floating. I ain't saying he don't exist. I'm saying ain't nobody showed me him yet. That don't mean he don't exist. For all my religious people out there, I'm not saying Jesus don't exist. I'm
So when you
saying
say show him,
y'all ain't
what do
seen
you
them.
mean?
If you have seen them, you ain't shared them with nobody. But go
Okay,
ahead.
well, what do you mean by that? Having nobody show you who he was?
People talk about him, but ain't nobody seen Jesus. I'm talking about a living right now.
Because like that's what I was trying to tell my son earlier. He said there's just images and stuff of him because there wasn't no cameras and stuff and phones and nothing to take pictures back then.
He don't know because he wasn't back then. What I'm
Who is
what I'm pointing out is
how old would Jesus be today if it's for you to be able to see him physically? How old would he be today?
man think about this. When you
That's
say
all I'm trying to figure out. How old will he be today as of
if they
right now?
say he died at 33, and according to their story, he died at 33, and that was way before. That was like billions of years
Okay,
ago.
because he
That
wasn't
was
born
beast.
of a man. He was born of a spirit. So if he wasn't born of a man and he was born of a spirit, what is a spirit?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it 100 because I don't have time for the bullshit. All right, anybody getting their feelings, getting their feelings. Okay, what I want to say is outside of the story of a Spanish name. First of all, there was no J's. We gotta go through this. There was no J's in the alphabet during the Hebrew language time,
Oh,
so
we don't
therefore
have to go
the
through
name.
this.
Okay, I figure. I don't know what level really Rails on, and I don't know if she's just keeping the energy
I mean,
flowing.
you can go
But there's
through it,
some
but
people
us,
out
like I
there.
said, everybody has their own teaching and upbringing, Ryan. Real online.
Okay, but don't cut me off. Let me talk. I said we could debate, but we gotta. When I said cut me off, I mean cut me off
Well, the debate then,
at
debate in peace. I'm gonna be
at certain
listening. Go
times.
ahead, debate in peace. My fault again.
No, but I ain't saying that we can't debate. I'm just saying let me make points in the debate. So on the Jesus thing, if people believe in a religion of Jesus, you can look at the fact that there was no J's in the alphabet during the time frame that they called him Jesus, and that Jesus with the J, when you pronunciate it in Spanish, is Jose, and when you put it in Greek, is Zeus, and when you get into all the theology of the Bible, it ties back into ancient scripts that were written in a situation of indoctrination. I don't knock people's religion. I got family members that are very religious, and I think that the church has been sort of like a hospital where people need the family and the tribe to keep them from being spiritually sick, evil, and wicked. The same with Islam. I don't knock any religion or any prophets. I don't knock anything anybody needs to get through whatever they're dealing with in any dimension. So if you believe in Jesus in all dimensions, may you believe in that and everything else. From a logical, scientifical perspective of the conversation that we're having based on showing and proving, that's where I'm coming
Uh-huh.
from. If you want something else, you got to go to somebody to talk about something else. I'm called the Real Online Network because I don't deal with um, um, just lies. I don't deal with manipulation and stuff. I just deal with real facts. So real things that you can prove is this right here. A woman can create another. I mean, there was a time frame that a woman can self-procreate, meaning she did not need a man because we have X chromosome and a Y chromosome. The woman has two X's, meaning that she can also create a lower version of herself by removing a piece of herself.
You
So
never
the
know.
X chromosome and the Y chromosome is real simple math. It's not complicated. Two X's, look it up, Google it. A woman has two X's, a man has an X and a Y. If the man had the extension of that Y, what would make an X? And remember what I said about X, right? X is when you turn the paper sideways, it turns into a plus sign. So a woman actually had at one time two positive signs. Two positive signs makes her a super being. It means that she is not just a human being, she's a super being because she has the two positive signs. They just turn the chromosome sideways and make it look like an X, but that's two plus signs. A man doesn't have that. That is what gives us a third eye externally that we don't control unless we ground it inside of a woman that has two positive sides to balance out our negative side. So the penis is a form of negative energy that has to be grounded inside the woman to stay positive. That's why we call it Mother Earth. That's why we call it Mother Nature. And that's why we call it Mother. And that's why no matter what you say about somebody mama, they may kick your ass, including Jesus. That's why Jesus, when they tell you
I
the
mean,
story of Jesus, they saying he was
today
born of immaculate collection. I mean
with this
conception.
breakdown,
Collection.
with this breakdown that you
Yeah.
just broke down,
Yeah.
I feel like that's why a lot of men are transforming over to a woman's energy because
Yeah,
of
but that's AI. That's AI though.
that breakdown of why the woman gets all the credit in a
That's AI though.
world
That's
where
AI.
your life is already based on your credit on top of that. You feel
Yeah.
me?
See, when a man wants to be a woman, when a man wants to be a woman,
It's
hold
making
on,
sense
let me get there.
because of that whole narrative.
When a man when a man wants to be a woman, a lot of times it's his mind versus his nature. So he's putting his third. If you've been told that your third eye is up top and you're already being lied to and everything's backwards, it can confuse you and make you want to be something else because it doesn't feel natural. So you in their mind, they think they're a woman and they have the mind to do that if they want to be. But when they start changing the organs into something that it wasn't in the original state, they can do it because it's theirs to do, but it's not a natural thing. That's why you have to force it and turn it into something that ain't natural. So that's called GMO human being. So that's like a GMO fruit where it's not grown from the ground itself naturally. It had to be created in like a science lab or somebody had to
Aware of what
turn
it
it into
is,
like a
but I'm
doctor thing.
saying I know why the cause is making sense of the cause of it. That's all because of what you broke
Well,
down.
some
I can
yeah,
understand
some
why.
do it because they don't know who they are. Some do it, it's different reasons. Some do it because they don't know who they are, and some do it out of protection. I know that sounds crazy, but there was a
And
time where
it's like exception too because of what you broke down. It seems
and
like you
worship
want to
and
be
worship.
accepted.
Some men worship women so much that they want to be them. It's like I want to be like God, and the closest thing I seen to God is a woman. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of men, instead of being the protectors of Mother Nature, they rather be Mother Nature. You know what I'm saying? So they're so amazed by it that they want to try to be it. So that's when you get someone saying, "Hey, I want to try to be what she is because
Well, when
I'm
they
just amazed by it." They're
when
so
they
in
label us
love
women,
with their mother,
when
or they're so in
well,
love
that's the
with feminine
wording though.
energy.
That's the programming and the wording too. Because when they label us one man and they still keep man on it, then that's why. Like I said, I'm starting to see why things are the way they are today
See,
by looking at the word.
yeah, but see,
And
one man is a derivatory of womb, womb, WOMB.
it still
So
got
it's
man
really
on
supposed to
it.
be
So
womb
either way,
man. I
it
know,
still got a man on
I
the
know
name,
what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you.
just like
You're right.
African
I'm
American.
agreeing with you. When you say when you take the womb out, then you're not focusing on the natural vagina. So you say womb man, and that's too powerful. So in order to weaken the womb man, then they got to dumb it down to just saying whoa man. You know what I'm saying? WOMAN. But then you don't understand when you say woman. Most of the time, it, the womb doesn't come to your mind at first. It's just like, okay, a woman can be anybody. Yeah, but what if we start calling our woman what they really are called, which is womb, because they have a womb that can hold another being. And then you don't have to worry about, okay, man, if you want to be a woe man, go ahead, because that's still not a womb.
Yeah, but that's you know what I'm saying. It's just this. I'm getting clarity tonight. That's all on real. That's what happens when you come on real online network. You get some clear clarity. Appreciate the clarity.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, you get realness. You don't get me trying to just make you think I'm the smartest person in the world because I'm not. I just use common sense. My thing ain't based on I read all these books, even though I've studied a lot of stuff, but I don't come up here and be like, hey, I can so. I just sit here and just hit you with common sense. Like, come on, man.
I want to talk
Like, do
about
we
what
really
real address too. To not cut you
huh?
off. I wanted to talk about this topic that really real brought up. She said, "But our slaves was religion. We paid before we was hung. That that how our songs come from.
What she say again?
But our slaves was religion. We prayed before we was hung, and that's where our songs come from. Our songs come from being.
Tell really real. I ain't never been a slave. I ain't never been a slave. I ain't never been.
I said
I ain't
that
never been a slave.
I said I ain't never been one or my ancestors, but you know what I'm saying. That's what they taught though. Once again,
Slave is a word that comes from the origin word of Slavic, and Slavic meant something else in a whole nother kingdom that had nothing to do with what was going on over here. We've never been slaves. We just never been slaves, and we wasn't hung. That's all just lies. Like, first of all, if you, I ain't talking about someone that gave themselves up. See, if you give your spirit up, then anybody can do anything with you because you gave your spirit up. But most real natives don't give their spirit up. You hang any of mine, then it's gonna be a catastrophe, is all I'm gonna say. We on TikTok. So you know what I'm saying? We ain't no punks, and we ain't never been no slaves, and we ain't never been hung. And if I find out that you're hanging any of mine directly, you're gonna be dealing with all kind of energy, not just from me physically, but the earth itself. So that's just a lie. That's the boogeyman factor. Was people ever hung? Yes, I have met some people that have been in situations where they've been hung by they own self, or either someone set them up to be hung, misguided. It's no different than somebody committing a murder and then going to a electric chair. Like, you can't control all dynamics, but I mean, altogether, we don't come from a people of slaves, and the
I come from
people
people
they
who
just got
spoil.
their ass. They just been lying, man. They been lying at roots and stuff.
I know,
You
man.
know what I'm
They've been
saying?
making
What?
people
Tell
feel
me
like
this.
we
Tell Rail this.
wrong.
Instead of acting like we were slaves, why don't she deal with the fact that she know damn well Indians wasn't slaves? We did services in dirt and what they call it um um indentured servants. That did exist, but as far as us being slaves, it's just not true. I'm not saying Africans may not came over here and was prisoners of war and was slaves and stuff. I don't know. I'm not African. So, and I feel bad for any African that happened to, but I also don't feel that bad because if you African and you was enslaved by somebody, then your African nation should have came and got you. If they didn't come and get you, they didn't care. They sold you off. So some of them Africans that were enslaved were prisoners of war for something they did over there that broke their tribal codes, got sent over here to work as a prisoner. So a lot of them was prisoners of war for something that was going on in that area. The Indians that was already here were never
Real,
that.
I sent her a link.
Huh?
I was telling Real I sent her a link so she can get on to the YouTube.
Oh, but you heard?
Now, what you was saying, finish up now?
I said there are Africans that broke certain rules of the tribe in Africa that got them locked into a prison system in Africa where the African leaders of that particular tribe sold them off to the Europeans or the Spaniards or the Arabs to go work on behalf of their imprisonment. So they got shipped and that got called slaves. The Indians, especially the Coppertone Indians, aka black foundational black Americans, we were never that shit. When they came over here, we said, fuck y'all doing? Y'all want something to eat? All right, you fuck up, we fucking you up. And it's always been that. That's why you can go to the South and still see Indians with their land. And they'll fuck you up if you come try to fuck with it. Because we ain't never, what kind of slaves inherit land? Slaves don't inherit no fucking land. That's just common sense. How can you be a slave all your fucking life, but all of a sudden you got all these acres, but you was on the plantation? Oh, we felt bad, so we gave you the plantation. When they start doing that, they won't even do that today. So we know that shit ain't real. It's common sense.
I feel you on
But
that one.
if you told all your people that over there in different countries and shit, then they come over here and they meet a real, what they call a real ninja, and the real ninja like, run up, nigga. Yeah, I know you're to but you know what I'm saying? We ain't never been no slaves.
Yeah, it never resonated with me no way.
The greatest trick they played on our people is to make them think that they are not our people. But most of our people, that trick didn't work on. So you got more knowing because you got more people knowing, and that's the other funny part. We didn't decide to call ourselves African Americans. The term African American didn't come into play until like Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King and them. Then they started calling us African Americans. But before that, we weren't calling ourselves African Americans.
Right.
The whole Africa agenda started with Spike Lee movies. You know what I'm saying? When they started coming out with Do the Right Thing, Queen Latifah, and all this stuff, that's when we started learning about Africa. Before then, we didn't know nothing about Africa. We was like, what colors is those? Orange and this. And because we fashionable, we was like, oh yeah, we gonna wear that because it's black, and we were supporting Africans because we support everybody. We supported white people. That's why we wear some white stuff too. We were like, what's that? Tommy Hilfiger? Oh, I'm rocking that. What's that? Polo? Oh, I'm rocking that. Indians gonna rock everything. One thing about us, we know we created everything, so we gonna wear everything. But that don't mean that we think we them things. You know what I'm saying? So we'll wear whatever because we are loving people that ain't sitting here trying to prove nothing to nobody. You understand? We actually respect everybody. We just want people to respect us in the process because that's it. But as far as swag and stuff, we gonna wear Nikes. We gonna wear polo. We gonna wear Indian feathers. We gonna wear what grandma made us. We gonna wear the quilts that she sewed. We gonna do whatever we want to do. But you can't tell us that we are Kuta Kinte, uh, quasi. I don't even know what quasi is. Like I don't even care. Like because it's not my thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. That holiday, the African holiday. We
Oh,
didn't know about that till later. Like we didn't grow up knowing about that,
no.
huh?
I don't know what it's called either.
Right.
I don't even
I
care.
was just saying. I was saying they be trying to push all this stuff on us, like your people were slaves. That's why when that dude tried to say what he said, what we was talking about earlier, he tried to hand me them shackles. I hung them. These are slave shackles. I said, let me see. I hung them bitches. Like, man, I don't care about these slave shackles.
Yeah.
Ain't no difference from slave shackles and handcuffs. Slave shackles was the handcuffs back then.
Yeah. That's all true.
And they'll be like, well, that's why we slaves today. We ain't slaves today because we oppressed. We slaves today because you believe that you got to do something outside of what you was naturally given to do,
You know
which
what
is take care of your family
I got mad at that
and
dude
your
Kanye
land.
when he said slavery was a choice. They got mad at Kanye when he said slavery was a choice. They were mad as hell.
I understand why they got mad at him though, because I understand why.
I
You
mean,
know
dude
why?
was
Because
fine.
Kanye scared. Kanye is scared of the truth. Kanye still wants to entertain on a level that he likes entertaining on, which I ain't mad at. But I understand why that could upset people because it's like, don't give us no halfway truth. Either don't, you know. But they weren't mad like, yo, we ain't gonna mess with Kanye because they still rock with him. But what I'm trying to say is, it was entertainment, is what I'm trying to say. Like Kanye is not
Did y'all request it? He would have got requests if y'all was on.
You sitting in that in the right lane, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess you can want to send me the link. They said they think they own.
Okay, I just see the notification. Yeah. She in the back. I gotta ask, man.
Alright. He said he added y'all.
You might have to unmute your mic.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, what's good? How you
Can you
doing?
guys hear me? I'm good.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hello?
But we appreciate the energy, though. We appreciate the energy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Can we hear each other?
Yeah, I can. Really real. Mic check, real. Sherelle. Make sure your mic is unmuted, Sherelle, and we can hear you. There's a mute button at the bottom.
I heard it for a second.
I see yeah, she said something for a second. She might got to get her mic together. It depends on what she on. If you on a phone, you got to go
She said
to
give her a minute, babe.
the mic. Oh,
She said give her a minute, so she'll be back.
Hello?
oh, okay, okay.
Hey,
Yes.
welcome. Welcome.
First,
This sound like real. Or is this really? I thought I
Okay,
heard
can
this.
you bring up the topic of about our ancestors? Hello,
You're almost there.
hello,
She
It
said
is
something about
her.
ancestors. Hey,
hello.
You can't hear her?
I can hear her.
Okay, you were saying about our ancestors. About you can hear me?
Yeah.
Ancestry. Is that the topic?
Yes,
So what is the argument about the ancestry? Yeah, we were
but
enslaved.
I feel like we was slaves before
So
everything happened because
so I'm not completely a conspiracy theorist. This is not there are half truths. There are truths that we cannot confirm because we weren't there in presence. But the thing is, what the deal is though, what the big dealio is, when it comes down to our ancestry, we know for certain that everything that we created was stolen. So other than that, if we're talking about ancestry, we can even bring
That's
back
like
Martin Luther
that's
King.
almost
He
true.
said
That's
before,
almost
even before Plymouth Rock, we were here. So I don't know what the argument is about the ancestry with the black people because most of us were Native American anyways.
that's a check. That's a check. But I'm to add to what you saying. What my perspective, um, and I tap all the way into the Indian stuff. Like I'm all the way native, like on both sides, right? My thing is
Yeah.
that the greatest trick that they're doing to our people is acting like something was stolen. Nothing was stolen. We
So the
own our
thing is
land.
that
All
not
we
only
have
not
to
to cut
do
you
is
off, brother, you're
yeah.
actually talking to an active black Native American. That's why I was inherited my land by my grandmother, Cherokee Indian. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Rayleigh is also Native American. I forgot what her tribe was. But it's just living proof of shit like that. And I agree with a lot of shit you saying, but I also disagree with some of the things that you were saying as well.
No doubt. What's some of the things that you were disagreeing with? Because it might put me into agreement with you.
Well, the thing that stuck with me was when this is what Brady told me. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it verbatim. I didn't hear it out of her mouth verbatim what you said. But the thing
Right.
is, what I heard what she said was what you said about the slaves being dumb.
Being dumb.
Yeah, being dumb. Yeah. Like
Yeah, I didn't
slaves,
call
slaves, whoever
I
was a
didn't
slave and
yeah, I
still
didn't call them
exists,
dumb.
but still
That's for
but
sure.
being dumb.
No, I didn't call them dumb. I
Oh, okay,
definitely
that's
didn't call
why
the
I
slaves
see. I had to
dumb.
confirm that before. I've done debate
Yeah.
classes in middle school, man. This ain't. I'm not up for debate. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I do. That's not
Right.
what I got on here. I want to come over here and agree with y'all. I'm over here making tacos. I'm a
Have you
cook.
have
You know what
you
I'm saying?
have you
So,
ever heard of have you ever heard of Top Cat?
I can barely hear you. How can I hear him better?
It ended somehow.
They went out. You can hear me
And
though,
I
Reed?
stopped hearing you too. You went
Yeah, they'll
low.
come back. I'm about to bring them back. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you now.
They're back. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
That's a lot better. So yeah, go ahead. What you saying, brother?
I was asking you if you ever heard of Top Cat on YouTube. He's an Indian and he got like a large YouTube follower. He was on Sonetta's uh, platform recently going in for the Indians, and I'm a part of his panel. Like what I'm saying, I've been supporting his panel because he's going in on a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And
Um,
yeah, I was telling you
Yeah, I definitely would
if you
check
haven't
him
heard
out.
of
One cat that I was listening to, let me think, because he makes damn near documentaries. Let me grab my phone real quick.
yeah,
He always talking about the black Native Americans. And
Right.
and it's just like, it's beyond the point of we're talking about the reparations and stuff like that. It's just that the simple fact that
Right.
we were put under this tyranny and this oppression, and we're still not, even the acknowledgement that we get today, it's minuscule. There's no point in us even really trying to put Harriet Tubman on the dollar because they thought they were Negro slaves, and most there was Negro slave owners. Like, like, come on. Like, they gotta, like, you gotta really gotta get with the program with this shit, because it's not about skin color anymore. It has never been about skin color. It was always about status.
Right. Classism.
Yeah. Now my phone wants to
Yeah, it's
restart.
always been about classism. Classism. That,
Yeah, our
yeah,
ancestors.
I agree with you,
But the
brother.
thing
I agree
is,
with you.
okay, now if
I
we're
agree with
going to talk about religion, now that's a whole nother beast right there. Because the way I look at religion, and when I was studying in philosophy, stuff like that, all I was, when philosophy, I took in things, and just like when you gotta take, and you gotta give in
you.
any analogy in human being, especially if we're knowing that the Bible was written by a man. So, knowing that,
Okay.
you gotta give and take everything with a little bit of grain of salt. Other than that, we can't be that naive to understand and believe everything we read. You can't believe everything you see or hear.
Sure. Sure.
So, but in philosophy, I took a little grain of salt, and it told me that God is
Right.
the greatest, the highest conceivable being. So, knowing that God is omnipotent and He's the greatest, highest conceivable being, He's omnipotent, meaning that He can be everywhere at all times. Doesn't matter what name that you put on Him. The way I look at God is kind of different. I actually look at God as God. A lot of people look at God as a figure, a false figure, maybe a golden statue or something that's supposed to
Mm-hmm.
give you praise, something that you can touch, something. You know what? God is something that you can touch, and God is something that you can feel, and something that you can see, because it's your vision in itself.
Mm. That's interesting.
The the,
So
the, the
you're
basic
saying
the basics the basics
go
of
ahead.
the even the matter that you can even fathom to even process in your finite being in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was the
Mm-hmm.
definition of God.
Mm. So yeah, you. It sound like you
Well,
saying.
the
It sound
third
like.
eye, that
Correct me.
was dealt with more of like of a self-realization type of thing. You have to understand that you are finite to understand that you can't understand. That third eye right there, that's like understanding that you cannot understand the divine powers of something that is something beyond finite. But we're getting off topic.
I understand that.
We were talking
Yeah,
about
but I see what
the
you're saying
definition.
though. I see what you're saying when you talk about God. When you talk about God, you're basically just saying it's matter, that it's all, like it's everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Is
exactly
that
what
what you
God
mean?
is.
Yeah,
Whatever,
yeah, I
even
get
if it's
that.
like a Big Bang theory or whatever in science or whatever the hell. If you want to call him Allah, you want to call him Buddha, whoever you believe God is, that's God. It doesn't matter, because God is God.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter if you believe in
right,
16 gods. God is
right.
God.
That I break it down on a real basic elementary level of saying that.
Yeah, that was pretty much me
Okay,
breaking it down to an elementary level, to
yeah,
in
yeah.
layman's terms.
Yeah. I look at it like, the plus sign. Like, you have an electron and a proton that makes a
Yeah,
neutron that creates the atom. So I look at it
exactly,
like that. Like it took all of that just for us to feel the atom. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to respect even the thing that's supposed to may be negative. So this person may say, well, Buddha is negative for us. But if you can look into it and find the positives of it, then that makes it all God. So I agree with you.
exactly. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
but
agree
you
with
have
you.
to really understand, really, especially the rhetoric when you have to, when it comes to the balance in life as well. Because God is not all good, because there has to be, like, that was just like, we cannot love without any suffering. We cannot have any joy without any pain, kind of thing. It's a balance. It's a balance in life. It's a thing that we have to, we all have to find our center, and there's
and
a such thing as chakras and our spiritual energy. Pretty much it sums it all up, because you are a soul. You're not really a person. You know that, right? Like
right.
your body is just a vessel, but your brain is just
Yeah.
an organ, just to
Yeah.
run. You know what I'm saying? But like I can take my
Yeah.
brain out of my body and put it in your body, and you will still have some control sometimes, just based
Yeah.
off of
Like an
biology
apple is an apple.
and anatomy, and the neurons
Right.
the presence. That's that's pretty much like if you think about the word ambiguity, that's pretty much what that means. If you put somebody else's brain in somebody else's body.
Break it down, bro. Keep going. What you mean?
So the thing is that, like, I can break it even down to like simple little molecules, or to like a little fucking like a microbiome. Because just because the simple fact that,
Hmm.
just because I, saying in layman's terms, just because I put my brain in your body doesn't mean I'm going to have control. I'm still going to have your urges. I'm still going to
Hmm.
have your lusts. I'm still going to have your pain, and I'm still going to have your
Oh, I see what
fears.
you're saying.
I'm still going to have your
I see.
love.
I see what you're saying. Frankenstein.
Pretty much. But it's a little bit more complex
Yeah,
than
that's
that,
kind of
because it's a microbiome. It's a
yeah.
microbiome. You're completely covered in billions and trillions of little microorganisms around your body. That's why all that
Hmm.
shit they was trying to, maybe that was another thing the government was trying to do. Hey, use hand sanitizer, kill all the good bacteria off your body so you wouldn't be able to fight against COVID in the first place.
Woo. Around here we call what
Literally
we
take
call that
down,
around here.
put all
What's
this
what's
hand
the other word?
sanitizer and
And we use a different other word though, so
antibacterial
she don't get
shit.
shadow banned. We already get shadow banned. What's the other word? Yeah, I feel you
What you
though.
say, brother?
Well, other than that, we call it something. I forget what we call it. We call it something else so we don't get shadow banned. What do we call it? For the C word. They call
Oh
it
yeah,
something
yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Y'all gotta
Yeah,
tell me the
something else.
lingo, man. I don't do this. Like
Anything but
I've been doing this a long
that.
time. I've been doing this a long time, and I'll be trying not to
Yeah.
say shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Trigger the
this ain't
algorithm.
no rubber ducky days. Be like little rubber
That's
ducky,
why
some shit.
we have to be particular with our words, because they be ready to put a person on ban.
Yeah, she get banned so much. That, she on
Yeah,
TikTok every day.
I
She
usually
get
talk.
banned a
I
lot.
usually do this
So
in
I
the
be
morning,
like
but it
trying
was
to
my
watch
day
the
off.
words. But I feel you though.
And our ancestors go back so far
You say you
beyond.
from
Like,
the
at the end of
Cherokee
the day, if we're
tribe?
talking about our ancestors, yeah. What you saying, brother? What's that?
You say you from the Cherokee tribe?
Yeah, that's where my
You
grandmother
say you
tried
from the
me.
Cherokee tribe?
Yeah.
Okay. What part? Like the South or the West?
Uh, my family. I was just inherited land. I didn't start understanding my lineage until I actually did a little bit
Mhm.
of my research. I have a lot of family. A lot. Like, I have family in Canada. I have family in Ireland. Like, that's what I was like
Mhm.
telling you. I was telling Relly. I was like, it's not about skin color, because most of us are descendants of white people as well. We were mixed. That's what they call America, a melting pot. That's what America was built off of, a revolution. It was the whole point of us coming here and mixing all together. But that's what slavery was doing. Slavery was mixing us all together. My last name is Wilson. That's not a black African last name. That's not a Native American last name. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure y'all last name something else that's white that was descended and probably put upon y'all.
I mean, yeah. Well,
We were colonized. It happened. We already know this in history. I'm past it. We gotta shit. White people have fought for us. Died for us, disappeared for us. We can't continue to be. Some of my best friends are white. Well, they're not white. They're in Europe, but you know, it's different. It's it's give and take. We still have to be on this earth together. So why would why change our way? We were the most peaceful, most resilient, most loving people on this earth, most forgiving people on this earth, and nothing would ever change that. They gave us the worst food, they gave us the worst shelter, they gave us the
Do you
worst
know,
education.
brother? Do you know the real name of your tribe though, other than Cherokee? Because that's
I didn't go
one of
into it
the
because I just
divinity.
own land, brother. I'm not going into that. It's
Yeah,
bigger than
I
that.
just
You
wanted
know
to
what?
share
You
it
know
with
when
you.
I fought for my civil rights. You don't got if you want to pull my card, you can pull my card, and then
I'm
you know
not
what I'm
trying to
saying.
pull
We
your
can meet
card, brother.
somewhere. But other than
I was trying.
that,
I'm not trying to pull your
look,
card, brother. I was trying to just share information with you. I was just saying that the
yeah.
original name
Look,
of the
there's
Cherokee
different. There's
tribe.
many different tribes. Many different tribes. Like
That's a fact.
if I told you who her tribe was, you wouldn't even know who the fuck they are. You've never heard of
Oh
them.
yes, I would. Oh
There
yes, I
was
would.
even people that were even black people that you would never heard of that I can bring up that were erased from history. That's not the
I,
issue. The issue is
I'm
that
pretty diverse, brother. I'm pretty diverse in knowing the tribes. And
I
that's
get
why
it,
I was
I
just
get
trying
it
to
now.
share
But you know
information.
what? You know what was weird?
I
You know
wasn't
what
trying to
was
pull your
crazy?
card though, brother.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, and I'm all for that. I'm all good with that because you know what? I own my land. I got my land.
Right,
I even have
right,
some. My property was burnt down by the rubber ducky. So, anyways,
right.
um, back to what I was
Yeah,
saying. I
I
was
was
saying
just
something.
saying,
Now. I was trying to get to a point. I kind of lost my thought right there. We are talking about how. No, it wasn't the white people. The white people aren't the issue because white people are. We're all slaves now. Um, the thing is that
I'm not a slave. I ain't never been a
I had to
slave.
fight for women's rights before I could even fight for civil rights. So my heritage, my lineage really doesn't even matter because we don't even have natural rights as human
Oh yes, it
beings.
does, brother. If you're Indian, if you Indian
If
brother, you're
if
Indian
women
brother.
now, okay, now tell me what's more important, gender or race?
Not race. Your hair, your lineage is more important than both. Your
I'm
lineage
talking
is
about
who your
women's
grandmother is,
rights.
and who your whether. Yeah, that's why I said your grandmother. The to
No, I'm
me,
talking about
what's
my
most
mother.
important is
There's nothing I could do about my
right. That's
grandmother.
right. Your mother's mother, and ever that. I think that's
I've
the most
seen,
important.
you know what makes me want to fight, brother? What makes me want to go on the front lines, what really inspires me to do the things I want to do is because not only does my mother work for the government, the thing is that, look, I've seen her get oppressed. I've seen her get harassed by the police. I've seen my people, I've lost too many loved ones of the hands of the government
Let
or
that
even
mother
in
have.
the infiltration of the government and by my own people to sit here and focus on the little things. Is the thing is what I'm trying to figure out is come to a agreement and a collective because I am actually on the field. I have a nonprofit organization that I've been working on that COVID slowed down, but it's about to speed up real quick, real soon. And I'm going to have
Right, right.
a women's conference. I would hope you would be there, and I'm putting that up out of my own pocket. You know what I'm saying? We used to have a summer camp
Yeah,
every summer. Brothers and sisters of hope, nigga, I'm sending you a link after this.
yeah, for
So
sure, for
other
sure.
than that, like
I love.
we gotta come to an agreement, my brother.
You gotta be able to hear the
Yeah,
other person too to come to an agreement.
Because he was saying about turning lights out.
I mean, Kanye West is fucking part of some bullshit that he didn't even know. Nobody ain't got time for that, man. Look, for that
yeah.
type of ignorant.
I'm definitely with anything that's about uplifting. I mean, anything positive, I support. So
Yeah,
definitely
exactly.
drop the link and let me know about your event because I support it, brother. I'm all for positive energy. You know,
Yeah, I know you
what I was
for it. I know
pointing
you
out with
for
the
it.
tribe. Yeah, what I was pointing out with the tribe, because I'm just that's just my thing is definitely the women. Um, because to me, our job is to protect, respect, and neglect them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Exactly.
all about family. I'm all
There
about the
ain't no
women.
fortress that is should be more impenetrable
Well, our Indians was different
than our black women. And it's crazy that the black women shit,
we was right for them.
man.
Say that again.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just I'm lost for words, my brother.
Yo, it's a lot. It's a lot, but the main thing that I keep pointing out on my podcast is that it's we have more than what they trying to act like we have. We have each other, and then by having each other, we can continue to have the land because we were placed here for each other to make sure we do what we're supposed to do with the land and protect it and respect it and make sure everybody can benefit.
Okay. But
Yeah,
what will
that's
be
my
your
bottom.
solution for that?
Communication and connecting and dealing with like instead of dealing with like
And
what you
tell
said,
niggas to
all the
stop
negative
spending money
stuff
on
and
Louis
like blaming
bags
the
and
white man.
Yeezys and
No,
actually fund
but
their own
nah,
people?
I think the solution is that most of the Louis bags and stuff was created off of our material. So to definitely
Well, it was
network with
created off our style as well. The sad part is that we've been exploited.
yeah, but what's the solution is for us to exploit each other the correct way. Like if you got something going
Yeah,
on,
true.
you might make shirts, right? I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
buy some. There's no question. But if I know that you got them, I'll buy them for you before I buy them from somebody that it's not benefiting none of us on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we do on the Top Cat channel. We all support each
Okay.
other companies and networks and stuff.
Yeah,
And
go
we
ahead.
deep.
I'm gonna
Over
need your
here, it looks
podcast
like
too,
I'm
brother, so
light,
I
but
can get up to speed.
That's right there.
So I get up to speed. Oh, that's your podcast right there. Oh, okay. She already got it on the TV.
About to be auntie.
yeah, that's mine. But what I'm trying to tell you is that my real platform is called go to put in Big Cats on what's the name? Because I'm on that panel. So this one I'm just starting, but if you put in Big Cats or Top Cats on YouTube,
Mhm.
you'll see the panel that we all be on. It's a lot of Indians, and this is like they be up there debating, like because you got
First.
Moors up there, you got Moors, you got
Yeah,
Africans,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everybody up
bro.
there talking.
You know what's crazy
Yeah,
is I learned about Moors in fucking college, bro. I didn't know nothing about no damn Moors.
yeah,
I was like, what the
yeah,
hell? I was like, nigga, it was black people back then over there.
yeah. And now he does full documentaries, man, breaking it down. And he also be like, if you got some slides to add, you can add your slides to keep the conversation lit. You know what I'm saying? But we all be supporting each other, man, because to me that's the solution. Like, hey, man, you might be a more. The only ones that ain't gonna lie to you, the only ones we've been having a lot of like trying to get them to understand, because they be coming at us and we don't be coming at them, is the Pan Africanism. Because they be
No,
on
is it
some,
African? Hey, bro,
yeah,
them motherfuckers, they scam too much for me. I'm sorry. Look, they do
they
too
be
many
on
scams.
they be on
Last
some.
African woman I tried to talk to, last past 3 African women, they was trying to pull a scam on me. I was like, man, I can't believe this shit. And then when they couldn't get to me, they tried to get my brother.
Yeah, they be
I
on
was
some
like,
shit.
damn, they
And they
really be
want you to
on it.
be mad. They be wanting you to be mad at the white man. They be like, you don't hate the white man? I'm like, nah, bro, I don't.
The hell, hate the white man for what?
I don't. I
I
actually don't.
mean, they do fucked up shit, but the black people do fucked up shit too, and the Mexican people and the Asian people. It's not it. Hey, it's everybody now, especially now.
Yeah.
Now, maybe back in the days, we was probably a little bit angry at the white man because the dynamic of what the hell was going on back then. We can even bring up Emmett Till and how that injustice that just passed over, and that was some bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get into some of that more stuff, you start going further back and you find out that some of the most heinous things that were done to what they call people of color was done by people of color. You know what I'm saying?
It
Done by
Some
should.
black.
white people.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but some Indians do too. But we was first.
That don't mean nothing.
we had to grow ourselves.
In many analogies, the black man was the original man.
But we had to
But
grow ourselves.
look at us now. If you kind of think about it, even if that was true, and that was the real true emphasis of what our history was based upon, the black man being the original man, then we enslaved our own people. We were the first people to have slaves then.
Don't say we, brother, because I'm not from
I
Scotland.
mean, well, if you're a black man, I mean, you're in the category, but I'm
I'm
not saying as
before
a
before I know, but before I'm a black man, like you said, they put it into classism. Before
yeah,
I'm not even I'm only black based on hip hop terms. I'm
yeah,
really just
exactly.
Indian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
me, yeah,
black, like you
exactly.
said,
Me too.
classism.
I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, well, my dad was pretty black. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh yeah, my dad dark too.
so I'm
But yeah.
black. I get treated like I'm black, so I'm black. Shit, goddamn it. They want to see a nigga, I'm gonna give them nigga. That's
God,
what they want so bad.
yeah, that's real. That's real. I'm just saying, it can all get confusing if you allow it to be.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. It can definitely get misconstrued and it can get all tangled up. And if you just gotta stay on a path and then find an objective there. Try to if anything, establish a foundation first. I mean, that's just like you can't help
Yeah, and
nobody
make
if
sure
you need help.
yeah, and make sure these youngins got as much as they got that they can get to work with. You know what I'm saying? Because it's confusing for some of us that's older, but for the young, I'm talking about like the Gen Zs, the 19-year-old, the 18-year-old. They are very confused when it comes to a
Yeah,
lot of things because they're getting most of their
they
information
actually are going. They're
from the
going through
internet or
especially at that age, they're still going through a late adolescence. And
yeah,
it's
facts,
it's
facts.
been it's been lost. There hasn't been a positive male figure for a long time, especially for I can't even say a black community. I've never seen. I'm from South Central, brother. I lived in Compton, Inglewood, Watts. I'm from the dirty. So like so I ain't never seen no positive role model in my lifetime. So I was trying to figure out when that was supposed to pop up because sure as hell ain't no Drake and it ain't no and it's not coming from no rap music type platform, and they're not. And
Right.
then this new generation, I'm considered what they call a millennial. Now there's
Yeah,
alpha and there's I forgot the other generation Z or whatever. I don't know, but they're
yeah,
different, man. They're different. It's
yeah.
going to have to be another way we have to connect with
See,
those
see,
young
see,
brothers.
see, see, you're a millennial, so I'm a Gen X. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm right there on the. I'm
See,
a
look,
Gen X. I got a
I see.
millennial
Look,
son.
I'm a millennial, but I was, I hung out with Generation X, all the '80s babies.
Okay.
That's what I grew up with. That's what I
Sound
hung
like
on around.
Yep.
it sounds like it too, brother. Because see, one thing about Generation X, and I'm not just saying it, I can back it, is that we came up the same way y'all are coming up with the whole understanding of what X-Men really are and stuff like that. So we come from a rough time, but at the same time, we also knew way more information than what our parents knew. So when y'all came on deck, we was like, they're gonna know even more than what we know. And Gen Z the same way, but without wisdom, all that shit don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No matter how
Exactly.
much you know. And what they
Exactly.
want to do is they want to cut the communication off between me and you.
Yes.
So me and
Yes.
you supposed to argue and hate each other because you looking
Yeah.
at me like
They
you old
if
head.
it was
You know
if it was according to the rubber ducky plan, nigga, we'll be killing each other right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they don't want these kind of conversations. They don't want no
Hell
millennial
no.
talking to a Gen X that can sit here and share some wisdom while the millennial might can show him
Oh,
something.
stop
You know
them
what I'm saying?
or have them argue.
Yeah.
Supposed to
You.
be
Yeah.
like discussing.
Yeah.
What you
True.
say?
Now she talking about the fear clause. Like Like I've been like I knew like as a small child I knew I was gonna be ready to die for my revolution. So shit like that. So I'm never scared. Like the thing is that where our physical bodies have a limit, and it's just like damn, it's not even your limit of your body. Your body probably never will actually live up to its potential.
Mm. Yeah, because we don't push it to the limit. Yeah, so you're right.
Because especially when they want to cut it short. So she was just talking about Nipsey, and that's just like Tupac. That's just like Malcolm X. That's just like Stephen
Well,
Biko. That's just like Martin Luther King. That's just like Muhammad Ali.
well, anything that has a re on it is subject to repeat. So revolution is one thing, but what's more powerful than revolution is evolution. But in order to keep the record spinning around and around the same way, they would like revolution talk more than they would like evolution talk, because evolution means you're evolving
That's the
into.
true. Yeah, that's the true
Yeah,
actual change.
yeah,
Because you
that's
can't, revolution. It can be a revolution after revolution, but
yeah,
evolution will never go back.
exactly.
It
And that's
doesn't
that
move backwards. That's like one of the strict
tribe.
rules of biology.
Man, that's tribe talk right there. Because that's what the tribe has always been about. How do I get this corn to grow taller? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. And they know how to do it without GMOs and you know
Yeah.
all the steroids and all the uh processed bullshit they put in our food and
Right.
preservatives.
Yeah, yeah. And then if they can keep Generation X from talking to the millennials, then I can't tell you who your cousins is from the South, and then you don't know I got land in the South that I can go grow on, and I don't have to buy this condo over here look over that used to be a hood or something. You know what I'm saying? They don't want
Yeah.
none of that kind of conversation to take place. But that's the kind of conversations we've been having on that Top Cat channel. Like we be talking
Oh,
about,
okay.
yeah, we be talking about,
So
hey,
y'all
hey,
y'all heavy on the Native American shit. I was just trying to get to that point.
yeah.
I just wasn't there yet.
Me neither. I came across him like I've been going viral on a lot of different channels, but then I came across him, and he was like the only one that had a large following that was dropping the Indian stuff for real, for real. So I was like, yo, I just started listening to the young, but he a millennial. You know what I'm saying? I started listening to the young brother, and I was like, damn, this nigga ain't he keeping it 100.
He
So
did
I
his
started
research and
chiming
he
in. Yeah, he a young cat, and he got the attention of a lot of the chiefs of the land. So
oh,
we been,
okay.
yeah, he rocked with Dane Calloway. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's the guy that
Dane,
I was telling you about. That's the guy that I was going to refer you to on YouTube. Dan Calloway.
yeah, yeah, he rocks with Dane Calloway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? He got a different approach. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I think it's because I think it's just because he like from Houston, and he just got a different approach that I rock with
Yeah.
both of them, but he just got a different approach. You'll see when you check him out. You know what I'm saying? We be up there. He probably gonna go live tomorrow. He almost go live almost every day. He brought this Nigerian in the other day while I was on the panel, and all the Indians was in there. We was like wanting to get at him, and he was like, we respect each other's channels, so it's his platform. So he was like, y'all, let me get him. Mute the mics. Let me get him. So we all muted up and let him handle it. And the Nigerian dude, he got a large follower, but he tapped out quick. He tapped out so fast, and I was like, "That's why."
That's because he was trying to scam niggas. That's why he
Yeah,
was up in there.
yeah, yeah. He tapped
Nah.
out super quick.
But yeah, he probably, you know what? He probably just wasn't ready for the heat. I mean, to be honest, because them Nigerians, bro, they got a whole nother agenda going over there, man.
Bro,
Like that scamming
wanna,
shit. I might be joking, but that's really what they be on over there, and they really be trying to like
tell
manipulate
you
people's
what,
mind and shit to thinking that that shit's for real, but it's not.
let me tell you what he came on and said in the beginning, because he came on. The first thing out of his mouth was, "My people enslaved you, they beat you, they sold you, and we won the war, and we just dominate you guys, and that's why we're over here now to finish the domination." Like he came in like that, bro. We was like, "Whoa!" Everybody was like, "Oh."
You know what? You know what this proves that? The way my house look and the way his house look. So we're gonna figure out who won the war.
Yeah.
And who
Everybody
and what
said, well, why
car, and
you
you know what I'm
over
saying?
here?
Not even to make it over material possessions, but y'all ain't win no damn war. And y'all sure as hell, and if y'all sold us, y'all probably got sold pebbles and rocks because there ain't no fucking way y'all still poor over there like that and still scamming.
Right. Yeah, it was classic, but you got to check it out. It was funny too. I was like, I remember
But see, he
when he
was
came
saying that
on.
Nigeria won a war.
Yeah, he came in and Top Cat was like, "So where you from?" And he was like, from Nigeria." He was like, "Okay, so what you got to say? Go ahead and drop." And then he started dropping, and the first thing out of his mouth was how they conquered us, and then he act like he had some doctrine. He was
Oh
like,
hell
"I
no!
back this all up from the 1500s,"
See,
and
look, he
like,
can't
"No,
even back. They can't even back that up on a Nigerian dollar. They literally have to put up a wheelbarrow for $100 of American money.
bro, it was
So
country until late in the game. They just became Nigeria didn't even exist like during slavery time. So I'm like,
exactly,
first of all, that wasn't even the country name at all during
it
that time.
wasn't at all. It
Yeah,
wasn't at all.
yeah. So he was tripping. It was
Yeah, he's
classic.
definitely one of those. He was one of those scammer manipulators. Um, thinking he can just talk, talk fast and think that people gonna fall for that bullshit. And then when we actually bring up the facts and to be honest, the history of Nigeria ain't great. It ain't at all. The economy has been in turmoil since probably since I was born.
Right.
And you can't buy nothing with a Nigerian dollar.
Man, he said that.
Absolutely nothing. You need a wheelbarrow of their money to buy like basic groceries, like a wheelbarrow. Like literally, I'm not over exaggerating at all. Like
Yeah,
that's how inflated their currency is.
bro. I had a Nigerian preacher tell me. He was like, "Yeah, do you mind praying with me?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm open to that. Like, let's pray. Like, if you feel like we need to pray, I'll pray with you, brother." And then he was like, "All right." And I bowed my head, and he was like, "You're not gonna get on your knees?" I was like, "No, nigga." I was like, "You ain't gonna get on your knees? Like, we both get on our knees? What are we doing?"
You
He
know what I'm
wanted me to,
saying?
bro. He wanted me to get on my knees in front of him.
Nah,
Yeah, I was like,
nah,
"Nah,
bruh.
bro. If we
Not
ain't
happening.
both dropping to our knees, brother, because you need some kind of extra help or something,
You know what
I'm
I'm
not
saying?
for you, nigga."
That's not happening.
Well, when they tell everybody to take a knee for that football player, I guess stop playing.
Yeah, they be wanting you to get on your knees in front of them, yo. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
you're tripping, bro. I'm like, he was standing up, like, I'm from Africa, I'm a prince, I'm a king. I was a prince, I'm a king, and I'm over here, I'm a preacher. And you supposed to kneel. You're not the preacher.
Nope.
I ain't the preacher's son either.
If anything, you the king. Just like we talking to this queen right here.
Yeah. I she don't trip on my title because my title is "We Chiefs Not Kings," but that is based not on that. I don't use the term king. It's based on trying to point the narrative towards the
Hey,
Indian.
I completely understand that as soon as you said it, because we
Yeah,
all have roles here.
yeah. I understand why I call myself.
And
I
there,
see. In my come up, I've seen other brothers, and I said peace king and peace queen, so I
yeah,
understand dialogue. But
and
I've been
then
trying to get it back to like why we don't call each other chiefs. You know what I'm saying? And that's
yeah,
what we are.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to tap that in. Yeah.
My cousin used to say that he got a little bit Native American. That's really cousin, but it's the balance of that feminine and masculine energy as well.
Yeah.
These titles, it's just like it's a such thing as a woman being overly masculine, just like there's such thing as a man being overly masculine, or
Yeah.
vice versa. So
You
I,
can
I
over
completely
over
understand.
you can overdo anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you can.
Exactly.
Yeah. A man can be too weak or too strong. You know.
Yeah.
And that's why we need each other because if you like really all the way into your manhood, you naturally strong, so you don't have to force it. And then a woman, when
Exactly.
she's in her natural state, she's naturally um nurturing. She doesn't have to force like the
Mhm.
madness of a storm. You don't have to create a hurricane or nothing. You can be calm and get what you want. But you know, when she ain't getting what she want, they will turn into a damn tornado. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. See, you know.
Yeah, you be like, oh God, I gotta leave because she about to, you know what I'm saying, drive me crazy. My queen is in there. She on the podcast. She just quiet, but she up here. Ricky, you there?
sometimes the
Yeah,
sometimes
I'm
the
right
best
now.
answer is silence.
Yes, you just letting us build, I guess. You there, Ricky?
Yeah, I had a lot of I had to, end my TikTok because the N word was going slanging everywhere, so I just ended the TikTok.
Oh, I thought she was over there meditating. I think it's just the same woman that rarely be listening to all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm already knowing
I was
she
actually
doing her thing.
I was actually fucking up some sour cream and onion shady chips, but I didn't want to be smacking in y'all ear. You feel me? But I was listening to y'all.
No doubt.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
man. Yeah. So, it's like twins, right?
Yeah, really, really.
Okay. Which one? Which one's the hairdresser? Is that the one that's online now, or
Two
no?
of them.
Yeah. Daniel.
Oh, they both that. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was one of them. Just the
Yeah.
one I knew.
Nah, it's I think
Apparently, the other one is the that's her sister, what she just told me. So
yeah. Twins, I think.
Yep. I just learned it was two of them myself.
uh,
Yeah. But man,
appreciate
it's been beautiful, man. I'm glad y'all chimed in, bro. We went,
We
yeah,
appreciate
definitely.
it.
It was
yeah,
definitely
man. Make sure you drop the in the comment section that you give me that link. And matter of fact, I'm
yeah.
gonna give I'll give you the link, the Top Cat too.
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely collaborate on some shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah,
I talk like that.
yeah, me too.
I done been through a lot of bullshit in my life. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, even being like 31, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people might consider that young. I don't think that's young. I never thought I was gonna ever live this long in the first place. So, I'm just, I thank, God for every blessing that I get. And I try to give as many blessings as I can. And, it's always being receiving back to me.
Right. Yes, I'm out here pushing peace.
Hey, you
I,
got to, you got to,
I
got
remind
to.
people with my brand and my movement to live in peace, not in
Yeah,
pieces, and not let inner people get inside your inner peace.
yeah,
Anything,
yeah,
life in general, like you said, because I've been through a lot, growing up and everything like it's all, and I don't
yeah,
see it all. So I had to learn to live in peace. We don't have to wait to die before we be at peace.
exactly.
That's true. Old fact. Okay, yeah, I put it in the comment section right there. It's called Legendary Top Cats.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah,
definitely follow up with you on that one, man.
yeah. When you see us on there, you know what I'm saying, he'll let you in. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll drop the link and he'll let you in and whatnot. And then if you hit me up there, you know
Did
what I'm
we catch
saying?
your name?
What she say?
I didn't know. I didn't remember him introducing his name. I know we all
I'm
hopped
sorry.
on it for the
I'm
building.
Jair. Everybody call me Ja. So
Okay, okay,
Oh,
Jai.
okay.
I'm
I'm wrong.
Ricky,
I'm wrong.
and I'm Ricky.
it's nice to meet y'all.
Nice to
Yeah,
meet
same
So
here.
we should do this, I'm sorry if I talk too much.
Nah, I like that energy. I
Ah, we
like
love
that
it.
energy.
We love it.
Yeah, you came
You
in
know what
hot.
I'm
You
I
came
like
in hot, boy. You came in hot,
really.
ready.
Yeah. Our
I'm
cookie
a told
taco.
where I
You
gotta
know
be.
what I'm saying?
He came in on fire. You stay lit like that, bro. And then let's do this again, man. And then I hope to see you on that other platform.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. We definitely. I love y'all energy. I was gonna say some cuss words. I'm trying to better myself. I'm really trying to better myself.
We do too. We be saying we be trying to,
But I
step back.
really do. I really do like y'all energy, and yeah, yeah, I really do mess with it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm out, man. One love. We did it
Man,
again. We just getting this brand popping. Please like, subscribe, share, and let's keep
Oh yeah,
going.
I'm definitely supporting both of y'all platforms. Hey, I got you.
all
I
right, man.
appreciate it,
Appreciate
bro. Have a blessed one.
you. Have a
You
blessed one.
too.
All right.